in their invocation tonight by Reverend Jerry Duncan of the Middle Fork Baptist Church.
I'd like to ask a favor. We have a lot of young people around. For some reason, we have failed to teach them the honor and the glory of the flag and prayer reserved. We don't need to offend or cause any hard feelings, but I'm thankful to God and this community that we're still allowed to do this. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we come to you, Lord, thanking you for the many, many blessings of life. We ask you, Father, that you would remind us of the red that's on that flag, that we would know for surety all those who've given their lives. Every courthouse has a mark of names on it that we just passed by. But God, it has caused us to be who we are, and how that we receive the truth of the blood of those that were sacrificed and the freedom we take for granted. We ask you also, Heavenly Father, that you would cause a resurgence of your Spirit, not only to be a patron, but Father, that we would seek the truth. For our nation needs you more now than they ever have. We ask you, Father, that these children would express themselves in sportsmanship and fair play, and you would bless them for that. We ask you, Father, that you would bless the officials and all the band members, Lord, the cheerleaders, even the fans, Lord. Let them realize and know that this is just a reoccurrence of when they were young. They too might have played on this very field. We thank you, Father, for the ability that we're able to stand and proclaim your truth in Jesus' name. God bless this country, we pray, that we may be a blessing to you in the near future. In Jesus' name, amen.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Panther Football 2014. Tonight's game between the Skyhawks of Scott High School and the Lincoln County Panthers. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise, remove your hats, and join the color guard from Panther Battalion of the Junior ROTC and the Panther Marching Band in honoring America with our national anthem. And now, let's bring on the Panthers.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Panther Sports Network. I'm your host, Ryan Pritchard. Alongside me are my tag team partners, Brian Vance and the coach, Josh Shemp. Tonight we'll be bringing you week 2 of West Virginia High School football. Right here from Hamlin Lions Club Field, it will be the Lincoln County Panthers standing at home against the Scott Skyhawks. Well, gentlemen, last week, Point Pleasant came in here to Hamlin and just beat the Panthers from limb, 54-0, while Scott, on the other hand, traveled up the river to Elkview and came back from a 13-point deficit against Herbert Hoover to win going away 28-27. What are your thoughts about the Panthers tonight, Brian?
I think it's all going to be about their attitude. I mean, you have to beat back. You know, you said they played a great Point Pleasant team, and they did. That's a heck of a football team, and being beat 54-0. And I think all three of us here have been a part of some of those losses. I think it's all going to be on the coaching staff to make sure that they don't get down. I mean, we can definitely compete with Scott. So I think it's all going to depend on their attitude and their willingness. If they had a good week of practice, I think we could be successful tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you said a good Point Pleasant football team. They're one of the best in the state. I mean, that's probably a top 5 football team, and definitely probably one of the best teams, if not the best, we'll face all year. The Panthers will. And, tonight it's just important to get that out of your head, have something good happen early. You can't have the mental mistakes. The opening kickoff, you got an unsportsmanlike penalty, backed you up 15 yards to about the 10-yard line. 3 plays later, block punt for a touchdown. And, you just can't have those mental mistakes off. The Panthers need something good to happen early tonight. Need to put together some good sustained drives, no penalties, no turnovers. Play good defense along the way, and should be a good ball game, I think.
I do believe, as you can see from ourselves here, it is very hot and very humid. I think that conditioning will play a huge factor tonight, and you're mentioning these sustained drives. Long sustained drives definitely wear out a defense. So if we can do that in the second half, we should be very successful.
Yeah, I definitely think the sustained drives will be a factor because, in the first half of last week's game against the Big Blacks, we were limited to 61 yards of total offense, guys, and finished with 162. Meanwhile, Point Pleasant, being the team that they are, rolled up 445 total offense, and, they really weren't challenged. Scott, on the other hand, we match up, I think, very well this week as opposed to last week, as our viewers will hopefully see in about 37 minutes when we kick it off right here.
Sure. Yeah, well, one thing, I just thought of this, but last week, the Panthers didn't get a scrimmage this year. That's a huge factor right there, guys. I mean, in my experiences in in the years of coaching and playing and everything, when you see the biggest improvement in your football team, it's from that first to second scrimmage. You typically you have 2. If you just have 1, it's between the first scrimmage and your only scrimmage in the game. So. That was big, especially for a young team, like the Panthers have. A lot of young kids out there, freshmen, sophomore, all over the place, and that didn't completely dictate the ball game last week. Point Pleasant beat the Panthers handily, but it'll be interesting to see tonight. You got to get that out of your head and just come out and play football, block and tackle.
I think tonight's game's huge for the season. If we can bounce back with a nice performance tonight, a real solid performance, and get the W out of this, this could set things maybe in motion for a much more productive season versus a loss here. And, again, you're going to have to, as the coaching staff, it makes it tougher with every loss to build them back up.
Right. And, fellas, again, I hate to be, on the negative here, but, we're on the wrong end of a 21-game losing streak that dates back to 2011. All right, I think tonight would be no better time than to beat the streak, if you know what I'm saying. We do match up a lot better this week, I think, with Scott as opposed to Point Pleasant. And again, long sustained drives, cut out the penalties like you said, Josh, limit the turnovers like you said, Brian, and play sound, fundamental football from jump.
Well, while we're doing on negative, let me say something positive here. As the general manager at Armstrong and Armstrong sponsoring this, I want to say what a privilege and honor it is to be back with these two guys here. I mean, it really is the knowledge that you two both bring and the expertise, makes this a lot of fun. So I just want to say thank you to both of you for allowing us to help do this. I hope you fans out there really enjoy this because I know we do a lot. As you noticed, I'm giving my homage here to the old ball coach who, he took a beating this week. Not that I'm a huge South Carolina fan, but I thought, I may give a little homage to him tonight.
Yeah, I noticed you were rocking the visor tonight, Brian, and that's great. You know, because the old ball coach, he took one on the chin there last week from a very good Texas A&M team. So again, sports fans, you know, right here on the Panther Sports Network, brought to you by Armstrong. In about 35 minutes or so, we'll be bringing you the broadcast of the Lincoln County Panthers against the Scott Skyhawks right here, and we'll bring that to you very, very soon. About 35 minutes, we'll be coming back with some pregame interviews, hopefully with the head coach of the Panthers, Mr. Derek Christian, and the head coach of the Skyhawks, Mr. Shane Griffith, right here on the Panther Sports Network. This is Ryan Pritchard alongside head coach Shane Griffith of the Scott Skyhawks. And, Coach, you had a good one last week. You came back from a 13-point deficit to beat Herbert Hoover 28-27. Tell me a little bit about the 2014 edition of the Skyhawks this year.
Well, I thought that win was huge because we got back to playing what I call black and gold football. You know, last year we let fourth quarter slip away from us in a lot of close games, and that's not what's built this program. We've been a team that finishes. So that's been the whole offseason, is getting back to basics, finishing games, finishing plays, and we had a lot of senior maturity and senior leadership step up last week, and that was huge for us.
So again, tonight you're here in Lincoln County, another renewal of the Boone-Lincoln Border War, as we like to call it, and I know you're excited for this. I'm sure your boys are too. So what can people that'll be viewing the game tonight expect from the Scott Skyhawks?
Well, you know, offensively we want to play fast. We want to get the tempo up. We want to force the tempo to play at a faster level. Defensively, we're going to try to be aggressive. You know, I feel like we've got a versatile offense that can distribute the ball real well. We try to get the ball to a lot of different people. And defensively, we're still trying to find ourselves, to be honest with you. We're still playing with schemes, moving people around. Maybe tonight we'll take another step towards that direction.
I'm standing here with head coach Derek Christian of the Lincoln County Panthers. Coach, what can we expect for Panther Nation tonight against Scott?
Well, I hope we can put some points on the board tonight, get the ball in the red zone, and finish some drives.
Sounds good, Coach. We'll see you later.
All right.
That was head coach Derek Christian, and this is Ryan Pritchard. I'll be signing off right now on the Panther Sports Network, brought to you by Armstrong. Kickoff coming up next.
This is Ryan Pritchard broadcasting from the Panther Sports Network. We're high up here in the booth at Hamlin Lions Club Field. Alongside me is Brian Vance and the coach Josh Shipp, along with the wizard of the stat sheet, Mr. Jamie Jones, up here in the booth with us tonight, fellas. The captains have met at midfield, and the coin toss has been decided. We're going to get underway here in just a moment. So some quick thoughts from you, Brian, on tonight's outcome.
Oh, I'm going to go ahead. You know what? I think we're going to bounce back tonight and play a good football game. I really feel that the coach is going to have them right. I've heard they had a good week of practice, so I think we'll be okay.
All right, so it looks like the Panthers are going to receive the opening kickoff, and Scott will be kicking off to Lincoln County.
So ball coach? Old ball coach. Are you an old ball coach now? Are they calling you an old? Ryan said the old ball coach.
And just for
Well, again, guys, just to let me know that even though the sun is going down, it is still hot, still humid. Conditions will definitely going to play a factor tonight. You know, we had such a cool, wet August, unseasonably cool August. And these last, week and a half has just been the true August temperatures. Summer finally hit.
The dog days of summer, Brian, are here. And it looks like it's going to be number 12. That's Donovan Moore kicking off for the Skyhawks. And I'm not sure who that is back deep for the Panthers. We'll hang on just a moment while our eye in the sky.
They'll need one more on the
It would be Dustin Cooper, number 22. And number 19 is Austin Stratton, back deep to receive for the Panthers. As soon as we get the chain crew set, we will be underway.
You know, again, I want to tell everybody out there that's listening to this and watching this broadcast here, again, I think you two, but where would we be without our eye in the sky?
We have to have the eye in the sky, the wizard of the stat sheet. That's Jamie Jones, and he makes our lives a lot easier up here in the booth, I can tell you that.
And Jamie, from Armstrong, I'd like to say we thank you for all this work that you put into it. Like I said, you make us look smarter than what we really are, and we do appreciate it.
You're welcome, guys. I appreciate that. I enjoy doing it, being up here. Just what other way to spend a Friday evening but football, watching these kids go at it, and spend a good time with friends.
Oh, that's it exactly. Like, everybody's seen the movie, read the book. Football Friday nights, there's nothing like it.
That's exactly right. And here we are, week 2 of the West Virginia high school football season. Hamlin Lions Club Field, Lincoln County, and Scott. Another renewal, Brian, of the Boone-Lincoln Border Wars, we like to call it. And we're getting ready to get it underway as Donovan Moore lines up for the opening kickoff. Chain crews in place. Clock is set. Referees on the field. Both teams are here, and the stands are full here at Hamlin Lions Club Field. And there's the opening whistle. First quarter action getting ready underway. Moore approaches and kicks. It's a low, trickling kick, and it's fielded at about the 20-yard line. 20, 25, 30, up across the 30-yard line to about the 32, 33-yard line. Pretty good starting field position for the Panthers, Brian.
Oh, real good. Way to open up the game. The 33, nothing wrong with that at all. After the little bobble there, I saw nightmares flashing in my head. Like, please, no.
From their own 33.
Yeah, been a couple of changes, a couple of shakeups, and that's fine. Let's see how the Panthers respond on their opening drive of the first quarter. 11:53 on the clock, 1st and 10 from their own 33. Handoff to number 15. That's Tristan Browning breaking free to the 40 and pushed out of bounds on the other 40-yard line. And gentlemen, you alluded to it earlier, Josh, about a quick success and an early quick start. How's that for quick?
What a great run that was, too. He just mentioned it. What did he break? 2, 3 tackles right there?
Down for the Panthers on the Skyhawks 38-yard line.
It's missed.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Okay, so the Panthers with a nice opening play by Tristan Browning. And we didn't talk about it during the pregame, folks, but for those of you unfamiliar with Panther football, Tristan Browning is a transfer from Chapmanville, but he's a Harts Creek kid. He's a Lincoln County boy, and he's back home. Fumble on the first play of the 1st and 10 from the 38, and it looks like it was recovered by Lincoln County.
I tell you what, let me go ahead and say it's nice to see kids from the Harts area coming down here. We have cable up there, and we tell a lot of the people down there, we really want a lot of these kids to come down there, and they can help this football team.
Yes, we do. Okay, so after the fumble, after the botch snap there, gentlemen, 11:41 on the clock. It'll be 2nd down and 10 from the Scott 38-yard line. Jake Ashley, now a sophomore, he will direct the offense for Coach Christian and the Panthers. And a couple of positive yards there. 1, maybe 2 on the push. Brian Miller on the carry for Lincoln County. It'll bring up a 3rd and a long 8, gentlemen.
Good shoestring tackle. He said in the tackle, that was really, he breaks that tackle right there. You got to keep him legs moving. He's probably picked up 5 more yards. Yeah, something manageable on 4th down. Exactly right.
3rd and 8 for the Panthers. And whistles will stop play. Timeout, Lincoln County. Play clock was running down. Lincoln County calls a timeout to avoid the penalty. 10:58 on a first quarter clock. No score here at Hamlin Lions Club Field between Lincoln County and Scott.
I tell you what, I think that's a great timeout by Coach right there. This is a big play for us. We've had a lot of early success, but, you really want to get points out of this drive. So I know some people say they've wasted timeout on the first drive. We need this first drive of the league. Yeah, it does seem like we're taking our sweet old time getting those plays in, I guess you could say.
Yes, we wanted long, sustained drives, but, there is a snap clock of 25 seconds in between each play. So, all right, folks, here we go. 3rd down and 8 from the 36-yard line of Scott. Lincoln County faces now. 10:58 on the first quarter clock. No score here at Hamlin Lions Club Field. Split receivers, 2 to the right, 1 to the left for Lincoln County as Ashley is in the pistol formation. He takes, drops straight back, and is going to be sacked.
Jake Ashley is sacked in the backfield.
Flats there. You gotta check it down right away.
By number 67, Andrew Javin, 4th down.
Big quarterback sack there by Andrew Javins, number 67 for Scott. And, folks, he's just a sophomore.
Yeah, again, I think something you got to remember, hopefully with some experience, he'll learn exactly right. If he throws it that back, the back's still running.
Lincoln County gets the punt off, and it's not a great one, but it does bounce, and it takes a bit of a Skyhawk roll up back around to the original line of scrimmage almost, and it looks like Scott has held. It'll be a 1st and 10 for the Skyhawks coming out after the teams trade out their offense for their defense.
John Pace's punt was out of bounds.
We just talked about getting a positive play on 3rd down and making a management 4th down on this
Yeah.
On the Skyhawks 36, where they take over 1st down.
You ever notice how I always say hindsight's 20/20. Right now, the coach is going, if I'd have known this, we'd have just went for it.
So here come the Skyhawks, 1st and 10 from their own 36.
It's interesting seeing Scott line up in a lot of similar formations what we are. You can tell we're kind of similar teams.
Cody
We're
Harvey, the
same
ball
offense.
carrier. Not by the interior.
It's number 10, Cody Harvey on the carry for the Scott.
Part. A little bit of a breakdown. Look like an offensive line. Look from the left side on Scott's team.
Second down and 8 for the Skyhawks. Little sweep action. That's Hunter Bradley on the carry for the Skyhawks, and he's going to be stuffed at the line of scrimmage, possibly even losing a yard, maybe 2, on the carry as the defense stands up and turns back the threat. It'll be a loss of 1, so it'll be 3rd down and a long 9 for Scott.
It's 3rd down.
And the pass falls incomplete, in and out of the hands.
Cody Harvey's pass.
That went from almost picked to almost fantastic catch.
And the pass falls incomplete, so the Skyhawks will contemplate.
Logan Webb. It's 4th down.
Pass was intended for Logan Webb.
Flashing back to some of my former coaches, and for those out there that know, Josh's dad here, Coach Shimp, coached me for many years, and was playing defensive end. He said, defensive end can play the best game in the world and never have a tackle.
And the Panthers have a return cooking here, folks. Look here, turning, does a block. He's got a block, and he's breaking free over midfield and into Scott territory, all the way over.
I would say right now, in the 3 phases of the game, you hear all the time, offense, defense, and special teams. I got to give us an edge here early going in the special teams department.
Fellas, again, that was number 15, Tristan Browning, on the return for the Panthers, setting up shop on the Scott side of the 50. 1st and 10 from the Skyhawk 38-yard line. Jake Ashley in the pistol formation, double wing. Sends a man in motion. He'll turn and give to number 15. That's Browning. Browning looking for a hole, finds a little bit of a crease, and picks up maybe a yard on the play.
Tristan Browning, the ball carrier. Caught by Nathan Ramsey. Gaining 1. 2nd down.
Yeah, force the cutback. Right back into everybody else. Yeah, very well played.
Panthers face a 2nd down and 9. Double wing formation. Ashley in the pistol. Hands off to a sweeping back who pops free for about 4 or 5 yards.
Let me get a number check on my roster here. That's number 44. That's Nick Johnson, a junior.
Nick Johnson, the ball carrier.
I will tell you that he made a good play there because 78 Gillespie for Scott just untouched into the backfield. I think he was a little surprised to get back there so quickly. Why he missed that tackle?
Third down and a long 6 for Lincoln County. It's Ashley Takes, and he was running a bit of a speed option there, and it just never really developed, and he will be dropped in the backfield for a 3-yard loss, bringing up 4th down and 10.
You know, I say that speed option will work, but when the end's crashing that hard, you don't have any time at all to make a decision right there. He did the smart thing, probably just eat that football and not have a turnover. Now we'll hope for a little better.
So the Panthers are back in punt formation. And timeout, Scott.
Timeout, Skyhawks.
Again, being the second game of the season, you're going to see mistakes like that right there. There's had 10 on the field. It's still the second game, and you're still got young kids, and they're still going to make mistakes. Exactly right. Exactly right.
Okay, fellas, we have a correction. Number 44 is actually DJ Derrickson, true freshman starting for the Panthers on that last play. And it's number 89. We'll be back to punt for Lincoln County. Checking the roster here now.
You know, for the folks not in attendance here tonight, I'm going to say this was it's a nice crowd here tonight. And this heat and all that, I thought it might deter some people, but Scott and Lincoln County both represented very well tonight.
Gotta love a rivalry game, fellas, even early in the season. And he gets the punt away. It's a high end-over-end kick. That's going to take a bounce at the 20 and roll back. It's going to take a nice Lincoln County bounce. And it's going to be down just outside the 10-yard line. We'll call it the 11, where Scott will set up their second possession of the game, 1st and 10.
On the Skyhawk 11-yard line.
You know, now,
they take over first down.
As a Mountaineer fan, I will say this because we're terrible at this right here. We've got them pinned deep. Let's keep them pinned deep. Keep the field position.
And I want everyone listening out there on the Panther Sports Network to note there's 7:01 on the first quarter clock, and Brian Vance has already mentioned the Mountaineers. And that's okay. So Scott on 1st and 10. That's number 16. Cook Price on the carry for the Skyhawks.
Harvey, the ball carrier. Tackled by Brady Thomas.
Picking up positive yardage for Scott. Giving 3 yards, and it'll be a 2nd down and a long 6 from the 14. Skyhawks using a bit of a spread formation with a pistol look, with the quarterback being 3 to 4 yards back from the center. They'll take and give to the man right behind him. That's number 10. Cody Harvey on the carry for Scott, picking again up positive yardage and moving the ball forward.
Cody Harvey, the ball carrier. Tackled by Luke Miller. It's 3rd down.
You can see a little bit what Scott's kind of changed up here. They went from this tight bunch to spreading us out now.
Cody Harvey, the ball carrier.
Again, Cody Harvey carries on back-to-back plays, gentlemen, and pushes the ball forward. Picks up a nice chunk of yardage there on 3rd down and converts. And the Skyhawks face a 1st and 10 now at their own 24.
Yeah, from that first drive, I mean, I don't think there was ever a hole on the first drive. And here, 3 straight runs, we've seen pretty big holes.
Mm-hmm. All right, so 1st and 10 for the Skyhawks. Jackson passes over out into the flats. Nice defense there by Lincoln County, and he's swarmed over by the Panthers, and he's going to lose yardage on that, fellas, maybe 4 or 5, maybe even 6 yards on the pass.
Cody Harvey flats complete to number 1, Hunter Bradley. Stop was made by Tanner Price.
And a veteran for Derry Christian's defense on the tackle there, fellas. That was Tanner Price making the initial stop for Lincoln County. So now we've got a second down and a long 16 for Scott, backed up on their own 18-yard line. Quick slant pass is caught and dropped.
Cody Harvey's pass intended for number 21, Logan Webb, incomplete.
Cody Harvey's pass was intended for Logan Webb, and it went right through his hands. And now they're facing a third and long. 5:01 left on the first quarter clock. No score here from Hamlin Lions Club Field between Lincoln County and Scott. Skyhawks on offense.
You know, in that last play right there, I think Tanner was giving a little too much respect to the wide receiver there. I mean, he was probably playing 7 yards off and then started backing up before the snap. I mean, that slant's going to be there if you can do that. You know,
quarterback draw by Harvey. He's going to pick up a nice chunk of yardage for Scott. He's still going to come up short of the first down. And that'll bring up fourth down.
Brings up fourth down.
quarterback showed some wheels right there. I mean, he's a quick kid.
Once he gets a hold of you, buddy, he ain't going to let go.
So we've got a fourth down and 5 for the Skyhawks, and it does look like they're in a bit of a punt formation as Lincoln County runs out their punt return unit. That's Tristan Browning back deep for the Lincoln County. A high end-over-end kick takes a bounce at the 35, and it will be blown dead by Scott at about the 33.
The Skyhawk punt is down on the 33-yard line where the Panthers take over first down.
That's more like 7. Let's see if we can block it.
Yeah,
I
guarantee you the mental note right there, the coach is looking at that thinking, hey, we'll get to one of these.
I always wanted to come out and block punts. I think Coach Beck was always afraid to rough the punter and give him a first down. We did it a couple times.
Lincoln County setting up for their third drive of the night after the first two showed a little bit of promise, getting into Scott territory. 1st and 10 from their own 33. Jake Ashley takes and gives to the first back through the hole. That's Brian Miller on the carry.
Brian Miller, the ball carrier. Stop was made by Tristan Brown. No gain on the play at second down.
Actually, tight end down the field or something. On first down, it's 3rd and 12. Actually, the throw the ball. Foul in the memory.
Lincoln County's going to have to adjust their offense accordingly, Josh. I agree. And we'll see if they open it up here a little bit, maybe on this drive even. Double wing formation. Ashley in the pistol, drops straight back. 3-step drop fire straight over the middle, and it's in and out of the hands of his intended receiver. And that was Tristan Browning again, and he laid out for it and just quite out of his reach.
Number 15, Tristan Browning, incomplete.
And again, it brings up a 3rd and long for Lincoln County, fellas.
Third down.
The game of inches.
He had a nice touch floated it over his head.
Inches.
It was, yeah, like I said,
Inches away from 6.
Is that one you circle on the playbook for later, fellas?
Absolutely. Come back to that one.
it's on an early down.
All right, so we have a 3rd and 10 for the Panthers. Takes and gives them the first man through, and it is blown up nicely by the Scott interior defense.
You know, I would say on that one right there, it looked like
It was Brian Miller on the carry.
it looked like a wave came through there. I'm not for sure who missed the blocking
It's
assignment,
fourth
but
down.
not 1, not 2. There were 3 in the backfield.
That's a slow development. You pull on the backside bar there. It may have been a deep tackle, just followed him down the line and came right to the block.
The old Redskins counter tray there.
Nice spiraling punt, and it will be fielded and fumbled. And he's retreating. He's going to be swarmed over by the Lincoln County special teams.
You got to be impressive as far as the special team play. Lincoln County. You really hope that all phases of the game. You like to see a couple more first downs. Obviously, just a missed pass there, but we'll be pretty happy with the so far.
Number 22 on the tackle for Lincoln County, fellas, that was the senior, Dustin Cooper. And he made it down there very quickly and snuffed that out from the start.
It'll be first down to the Skyhawks.
Oh, this is the old, play the field position battle, and that punt right there, which, after the first punt, way to regroup, because that was a very nice punt that flipped the field back in our favor. And, right now our defense is playing pretty solid. So if you flip the field like this, it's going to be tough for them hopefully to score.
Skyhawks face a 1st and 10 from their own 33. Weaving his way through the holes, that's number 1. That's Hunter Bradley on the carry for Scott.
Another interesting, you notice that Scott has kind of flipped it again and went back to the double wing formation away from the spread. That's kind of surprising with the success they had running the football. That spread.
Elijah Price, the ball carrier.
Future looks bright.
Panthers are young.
Exactly right. And you know what? Everybody says, well, 14 and 18. Huge difference.
Sure.
Daylight and dark.
Scott now faces a 3rd and 5. Sends a man in motion. He's going to bootleg to his right. He's being pursued by the Lincoln County defense, and he is thrown down back at the 30. There's your man again, Josh Shemp, Tristan Daniels. Nice quarterback sack. He's going to force the Skyhawks to punt.
Maybe a little bias. I don't know. Tristan, my neighbor, he worked hard this offseason, guys. Plays like that, that's what pays off.
And that's what, a lot of people in the offseason don't realize. That's exactly when this pays off. All that hard work in the offseason is right here.
And there's a punt. A couple of Panthers back there. Browning's going to let it roll. No return on the play. And that will roll dead at about the 25-yard line. With 1:09 left on the first quarter, fellas, we are scoreless here at Hamlin Lions Club Field as the Panthers will approach their 4th possession.
I'll tell you what, I have to give credit to their punter. That was, again, flip the field.
Made the, and now the chess match begins between Coach Griffith and Coach Christian.
I tell you what, though, I noticed something last play, Josh, and you talked about it. Very close to getting to that one. So I think if we can stay up that close, we may end up getting one of those little nights over.
So Jake Ashley brings the Panther offense out again for their fourth possession. Takes and gives out of the pistol formation. A nice, deep, time-consuming play, and it's snuffed out very nicely by the Scott defense. He'll make it back to the line of scrimmage, but we'll call it no gain, and they'll bring up a 2nd down and 10.
Looked like Jake had a little bit of a problem handling that snap, which caused him a little bit of delay in handing that off. There was a hole there early, but like you said, with the long delay of that play, it closed pretty quickly.
And Ashley now has the play on this 2nd down and 10 from their own 25. Approaching the end of the first quarter here, this might be the last play of the quarter. We'll have to wait and see as Ashley in the pistol formation sends a man in motion from left to right. That's Tristan Browning breaking loose. And he's going to pick up positive yardage up to about the 30. We'll give him 5 on the carry as the first quarter clock begins to wind down. We're at 17, 16, and 15 seconds left. And Lincoln County facing a 3rd and a long 5 from the 30.
No, not one. And then early in the season like this, that's a rarity. I'm going to give Brian a lot of credit in that last play, too. He could have easily tried to bounce that outside and end up gaining 1, but decided, you know what, make the cut upfield and then start going north-south.
A lot of these kids are going to their whole life fast forwards that are back there tailbacks. And maybe Pee-wee League and junior high, they've been able to outrun everybody to the edge. But that's one of the hardest things, having to stick their foot in the ground and get north-south, especially when there's nothing there.
All right, gentlemen, I have our first stat drop from the Wizard, Jamie Jones. This is the first time since 2011 Lincoln County has been 0-0 with an opponent at the end of the first quarter. Wow. They're growing up, folks. They're growing up.
Yeah, I think the coaching staff here has done a fantastic job. They're trying to build a program. They know it's going to take time. And again, I won't emphasize enough, after the 54-minute beating last week, they came out and responded tonight, and they seem to be unfazed by that. So I'll give the coach staff a lot of credit to not let them get down, get them fired back up. Like we said before, it's a border war. So you got to be fired up for this one.
Hey, the Boone-Lincoln border war doesn't get much better than this, as Scott and Lincoln County have become natural rivals a bit. And we're going to get ready to start the second quarter here, folks. 12 minutes on the clock. It's 0-0 here at Hamlin Lions Club Field. And the Panthers are facing a 3rd and 5 from their own 30. Lincoln County 0 for 4 so far on 3rd down as Jake Ashley rolls to his left. He's going to turn it upfield, and he's going to pick up the 1st down for Lincoln County to keep the drive alive. He pushes it just past the marker, give him 6 on the carry and a 1st down for Lincoln County.
The offensive line there on the left side, they did a great job right there. They had an overload blitz. Right. Good job there.
And sealed outside, allowed Jake to get outside. Jake showing his best RG3 impersonation there.
Dynamite drop in, Brian. And Lincoln County faces now a 1st and 10 renewed life from their own 36. Ashley takes and gives to the man sweeping around. Is that Browning on the loose? It is. And he came one shoestring away from breaking it.
I tell you what, that was a great tackle by number 57 there in open field. He misses that one. We're gone.
That was made by number 57, Cody Loftus.
Totally new backfield, as we said.
Gain of 5, 7 down.
No longer part of the team. These guys stepped up, man. They're playing a huge role tonight. Doing a great job.
Just like Tristan Browning stepped up. 5 on the carry brings up a 2nd down and 5. Ashley in the pistol formation, double wing attack. Takes and gives to the man sweeping through, and he is again knocked in the backfield. That'll be a loss. He was down by contact. They'll say no fumble, and Lincoln County will retain the possession.
You know, you always said that you're talking about the backfield. You hear coaches say it all the time. When somebody gets injured and all that, as bad as you hate to say that, or for other circumstances that we've had, it's next man up. Next man up. That's why it's so important for these kids as the backups to pay attention in practice, to learn this, because your chance is going to come.
And that was number 20, Colton Beckelheimer, a true freshman, carrying the ball on that last play, folks. Browning in motion across the formation. Ashley takes and pitches it out. Gets a nice block from Browning on the edge. And that's Brian Miller digging and churning for positive yardage. He's going to be close. He's going to be very close to a 1st down. He's going to be shy of about 1 or 2 yards, and that's going to bring up a 4th down and about 2, we'll call it 1.5 from the 45. Your call here, Josh. You're the old coach. You're the old ex-coach. Talk to us.
Head coach, you know what he wants to do. Right now, I'm liking the way my defense is playing. Columbus took a chance, none of us beat it right now. I say, lock the holes up in there and run that baby.
And the Riverboat Gambler says go for it on 4th and 2. Momentum on your side. Looks like the Panthers are going to talk about it here, folks, as they take a timeout.
Right there, I say timeout. Quarterback sneaks there, goes to center. Him knows what's going on. Have him go. If you don't like it, I'll
I tell you right now, I love this, that the fact is it's the old adage of the go to the hero, this play. Mm-hmm. Easy to second guess, but as we always, I give the coaches a hard time. This is why they make the big plays. This is it.
Yeah, just like our wizard over here, Mr. Jones says, thinks the offense has a little bit of rhythm started. I have to agree with Jamie on that, and Josh. I say go.
And you know, I will say this right now. Right now, he's got to be talking to the offensive line, because this is all going to be on them. They get the push right here. The running back lowers in there. This is all on them.
Right here, you may want to change up the cadence.
Maybe even try to draw them off sides with a hard count. All right, so here we go. Everybody's in tight, double wing formation. Ashley in the pistol. 3 backs. He's going to give it to Brian Miller, and Brian Miller's going to push the pile. And I believe he's got enough, folks. It's going to depend on the spot, but I think we've got a 1st down, and the chains will move.
The O-line was not great
You know, I will say this: when I said it was all on the O-line, and the O-line did it. He didn't get touched till he was 3 yards down the field.
Panthers still have life. 1st and 10, just outside midfield from their own 48-yard line. 9-11 on a rolling clock here in the first half. No score here at Hamlin Lions Club Field between Scott and Lincoln County. And Lincoln County's picked up 2 first downs on this drive, and they are continuing to move as Jake Ashley brings out his double wing attack with a receiver split to his left. Sends a man in motion, and he'll give it to the motion man. That's number 15, Tristan Browning, on the carry for Lincoln County. He's going to pick up positive yardage, give him a yard, maybe a yard and a half on the carry.
You know, when you run those stretch plays like that, it really reminds me of a zone blocking scheme. It really does. It's just everybody pushing one direction, let the back cut it back up. You know, the Broncos made that famous. Terrell Davis basically gained, 2,000 yards, seemed like a year on that one scheme right there.
Second down and 9 for the Panthers as Ashley takes and gives to the first man through. That's Brian Miller breaking loose, and he's going to pick up positive yardage. Very close to another Panther first down.
Brian Miller, the ball carrier. Rob was made
Looks like the officials kind of missed one right there. The late substitution by Lincoln County.
9 out for measurement.
And they're going to bring the chains in, fellas, as they are very close to another first down. All right, we have some score updates for you, fellas. Thanks to our wizard of the stat sheet, Mr. Jamie Jones. It's number 2 Bridgeport, 1-0, playing number 6 Wheeling Park in the Northside Automotive AAA game of the week. And Wheeling Park is leading at the half, 7-3. South Charleston and St. Albans, in a bit of a shocker. St. Albans is ahead of number 3 South Charleston in the first quarter, 8-6. And Huntington High and Spring Valley are in a 7-6 battle in the second quarter. Huntington High leading 7-6. And Point Pleasant, who was here a week ago, leading Ripley 21-0 in the midway through the second quarter.
I tell you, I talked to our former coach here, Coach Beck, who those don't know, he is a defensive coordinator at Huntington High, and asked him what he thought about Spring Valley. And Spring Valley's got 2 large linemen. They're going to give them a handful tonight. You know, like you said, hopefully our speed will negate that, but they're big guys.
So 3rd down and inches for the Panthers as Ashley takes and gives it to the first man through. And that'll be Brian Miller for another Panther first down, as the Panthers have converted twice on 3rd down on this drive, fellas, and once on the 4th down.
You know, right here, this is what Coach wants to see. You know, you're just pounding on them, chipping away, and for too long, and boom, you know, they'll break away.
All right, so Lincoln County 1st and 10, and they're on the Scott side of the field at the Skyhawk 40-yard line. Jake Ashley comes into the pistol formation. 2 receivers split to his right, 1 to his left, and back right behind him. Ashley takes and gives to the first man through. That's Brian Miller. He will be upended just past the line of scrimmage, give him a yard, maybe a yard and a half on the carry. Bring up 2nd down and long for Lincoln County.
Tackled by number 59.
Nice long sustained drives is what Derek Christian and the Panthers offense want to do here in this first half on a rolling clock, 7:05 remaining. We're still scoreless here at Hamlin Lions Club Field between Lincoln County and Scott. 2nd down and 9 for the Panthers. Jake Ashley comes in his double wing attack in the pistol formation. 2 receivers split to his right. He's going to take and do a quick pitch out, and it's going to be fumbled and recovered, possibly, a bit of a pile. And it will be recovered by Lincoln County. And that's not what the offense wanted. Now they're facing a 3rd and very long, gentlemen.
There's a big setback when you've got the momentum going like this, what we had going right there, and it's going to be tough for this offense here to pick up that.
Panthers need to reach the Skyhawk 30, and they are back now at midfield. So it's a 3rd down and essentially 20 for the first down. Play clock winding down, 13, 12, and 11, and the play finally comes into Ashley and the offense.
I think I might come back to this little back on this side of the field possibly.
And they do just get the play underway, and Ashley drops straight back to pass. Looking over the top. Receiver was bumped off his route, but it was not a catchable pass, so the flag won't come. Pass was intended for number 84. That's Jake Kirkendall. I'm sorry, correction, Corey Rusk. And it'll bring up 4th and long, fellas.
Well, we got a second here. I'd like to say a few words for some of our sponsors. I'd like to thank the Lincoln Journal, for all the support they've shown throughout Lincoln County and following Lincoln County sports for years, following Lincoln Journal, covering for over 100 years. And I'd like to thank them for helping out, put this event forward to these people, to all the people.
High spiraling end over end punt. That's going to take a bit of a Skyhawk bounce, and it's going to be snuffed out by Lincoln County. So the Skyhawks withstand the 3 first downs picked up by Lincoln County, and will take over 1st and 10.
On the Skyhawk, 36. Will they take over 1st down?
People don't realize how important that position is. There's guys right now with full ride scholarships, and all they do is long snap.
Look at Mike Marshall, Marshall tight end.
Yeah.
Won 2 Super Bowls and played in the NFL for 12, 15 years.
Go Herd. Skyhawks 1st and 10 from their own 36. He's going to take and give the ball to Hunter Bradley. Bradley's going to turn back into the line of scrimmage and be snuffed out after picking up a pickup of about 2 yards, 2.5.
I'm going to have to give our outside guys this game a lot of credit so far. We have turned everything back into the meat of the defense. And that is so important. The guy gets outside, anything can happen. We have shut down the outside run so far in this game.
2nd down.
And another stat drop from Mr. Jones. We ate up over 7 minutes off that last drive, fellas, for Lincoln County. 2nd down and 7 for Scott. Gives it to the first man through, and he is going, gone. Breaking loose, breaking free, 10-5, touchdown Scott. That will be number 10, Cody Harvey, breaking free right up the gut for the Skyhawk touchdown. $60 yards on the burst right up the middle, fellas, and just like that, Skyhawks lightning in a bottle. They're up 6-0 with 4:52 left here in the first half. Extra point coming up.
It was real interesting too. If we went back to that spread formation that run the ball at the middle, which kind of surprised me why they went away from that. With such early success they had, so that they came back to it, and they've done some damage with it.
And we've got a flag on the extra point attempt as a couple of Skyhawks were running in late. Illegal substitution on the Skyhawks, so it'll back them up 5 yards. And I do believe that's our first flag of the play. And we'll retry the kick.
I can tell you right now from experience, and the old coach here mentioned it earlier, right now I'm looking at the Scott sideline, and really a lot of upset faces at a play like that right there.
And the snap, the hold is down, the kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 4:52 left in the first half, Skyhawks strike first here in the Boone Lincoln Border War, and they lead Lincoln County 7-0 here at Hamlin Lions Club Field. What did you see on that scoring drive, Brian, that maybe brought some attention to you?
Well, again, like we said before, it seems like they went back to that spread us out and run it up the gut. I mean, they ran at that one whole series and seemed to have a lot of success with that. And went away from it. Went back to the double wing, came right back to it, and we paid for it.
You know the old boxing adage, everybody's got a plan until you get hit. Well, we've been hit. Right now, this is either going to make us or break us. Are we going to get down? We played a good game so far. Or are we going to come out and say, okay, you know what, we got something good going? This right here, I think, is a make or break point for the Panthers.
Well, yeah, exactly. We've had a lot of success on offense. We've moved the ball up and down the field. It seems like we get down near the 20, we'll have these stall drives. The last drive, that fumbled pitch, that killed us, Yes.
So now what are we going to do?
Exactly right.
I'm looking for a nice kickoff return here from Lincoln County, hopefully with some nice field position. 4:52 left here in the first half. Scott 7, Lincoln County nothing. This broadcast is being brought to you by Armstrong, One Wire, Infinite Possibilities, and the Lincoln Journal, serving Lincoln County with news and sports coverage for over 100 years. Skyhawks Now kickoff a high, deep kick will be fielded at about the 15-yard line by Tristan Browning. Browning has a seam, has a wall of blockers. Correction, that's number 19. That's Austin Scraggs. And he breaks free and pushes it up over the 35-yard line, and there is a flag on the play. Hang on just a second, folks. This one might be coming back.
Again, that was a nice return, and it was. I think there was holding on that play. The one thing that's very hard to teach kids on a kickoff return, it's make the one cut plant the back. When you start to hesitate a little bit, it allows everybody to catch back up to you.
And I've always heard our coach, Josh Shemp here, always say, you want to make that first man miss to try to get something going. Does that still ring true here, Coach?
Yeah, that's what you want to do right there. When you're looking at it from up here, you can see running lanes and everything like that. When you're down on the field, you got blockers and 11 guys that are flying at you. Obviously, it's a little bit different. You gotta, when it comes to time, you got to quit dancing and cut it upfield.
And it's so hard, especially with some young players, to be able to teach them to make that one cut and get what you can get, because when you start dancing, very, very seldom does it ever turn out good.
So Lincoln County was flagged for that penalty. Fells illegal block in the back on the return, so that wipes out a really good return, and now the Panthers set up shop. 1st and 10 on about their own 16. That was a 20-yard penalty, essentially. Tristan Browning making things happen. He's turned in once and he's turned back out again. Possibly a late hit out of bounds. I don't see any flags coming out. But Tristan Browning definitely turned a very, very bad play into a very, very positive play and picks up about 3 or 4 yards on that.
Folks, that's probably one of the finest 4-yard gains you're ever going to see.
Second down.
So Jake Ashley facing a 2nd and 7 with the offense as a motion man, gives it to the man going in motion. And he's going to move the ball forward just past the line of scrimmage. That's number 15, Tristan Browning on the carry.
Tristan Browning, the ball carrier.
And he may not have gotten anything on that, fellas. Maybe back to the original line of scrimmage there. He's going to bring up a 3rd down and about 7. And we have got a timeout on the field for an injury.
Timeout for an injury.
I will say, for Scott, I think it's number 50 there again. I've seen him in the backfield all night, so at some point we're going to have to address this kid. I mean, he is just he hasn't made the tackle, but he's disrupted enough of our offense. It seems like every play you're contending with him.
It looks like he's been coached up well, but he knows what we're trying to do. He's going to be
He's just going down the Scott roster here, fellas, and that number 50 you all were just referring to is Aaron Grant. He's a senior for Coach Griffith, and it looks like that is Tristan Browning down on the field for Lincoln County right now.
The glasses, we had a little bit of miscommunication back in the backfield. We had 2 running backs run into each other, and one of them was the ball carrier. So
and usually it doesn't start good from there.
Well, let's hope Tristan is okay. Looks like he's going to try to get up here. And he's going to be helped off. An ankle, possibly a knee, looks like. And Browning will be coming off the field. And it looks like he's going to be out of the lineup for the moment.
I just seen something right here, folks, that it's really nice to see. I know it's a competitive ball game, but, we do hate to see anybody get hurt. And not just the Lincoln County fans, but the Scott fans that are applauding that kid as he gets up. This shows you the sportsmanship that's shown here in West Virginia, all across the state. We love our football. We're very competitive, but nobody wants to see anybody get hurt.
Very, very true. So with 4:13 left here in the first half, Lincoln County now faces a 3rd down and 7 from their own 20-yard line. Trailing Scott 7-0 here in the Boone-Lincoln Border War from Hamlin Lions Club Field. This broadcast being brought to you by Armstrong and the Lincoln Journal. And for those of you watching and listening to us, you are an Armstrong subscriber, because those are the only ones who get the privilege of watching this broadcast, Brian, are our Armstrong customers. Jake Ashley's pass over the middle is going to fall incomplete. He was looking for DJ Derrickson, and it's going to be incomplete, and it's going to force the Panthers to punt. So just what we were talking about earlier, Brian, about trying to get a positive drive started and eat up some more clock. Looks like Scott's going to get the ball back with about little less than 4 minutes and pretty decent field position.
And it's a very scary time for the Panthers right here. I mean, you've played a well of a game. You've really controlled most of the game right now, and you don't want to give up something cheap right here.
That punt's going to be fielded and dropped and then recovered by Scott. But and that was number 18. That's Alan Johnson for the Skyhawks. And Scott's going to start on the other side of the 50 here, Brian. 1st and 10 from the Lincoln County 42-yard line.
You know, I just want to go ahead and say you were mentioned earlier about us at Armstrong here, and it's something we love to give back to the community. You know, we have a lot of fun doing this, and we have a lot of people that help volunteer to make this happen for the folks tonight, and it's something we enjoy doing, and just something we can sort of give back to all our viewers.
He's running quarterback for Scott. He's going to fire a pass to a wide open receiver, and he's going to scoot down the sideline for a Skyhawk touchdown. 42 yards on the catch and carry for Scott. His number 38 on the catch, that's Nathan Browning. So Cody Harvey to Nathan Browning, 42 yards, one play. Skyhawks are up 13-0, folks.
That entire play has to be by the quarterback. I mean, we had the rush. We had players there. He made a great escape. Not only did he make a great escape, he had enough whereabouts to keep his eyes downfield. You know, was it a blown coverage? You can't cover anybody that long.
That play was designed to throw the back.
And
Donovan Moore gets the point and takes it good.
Missed tackle in the backfield. Broke a tackle. Locked the ball in there, a couple of blocks downfield. That's just what we talked about. You know, not even a minute and a half ago on the clock. The minutes were really game time. County had the ball deep in our ground. A couple of first downs there.
You know, just let everybody know we were joined up here in the broadcast booth by some future Lincoln Countyers here. And Nolan, we're joined here by Nolan Chimp. What do you think of the game so far?
I think we could have played better, but so far we've done pretty good.
Hey, so in the future, this is where you're going to be playing at, right?
Yeah.
And so I can see this score right now. You probably made that tackle on the quarterback, wouldn't you? Well, I can tell you folks from watching some of the midget leaguers around the county, if you came out to watch it, the future does look bright. You got players like Nolan and we got Brady here.
all right, so here we go. After the big score from Scott, kicking off to Lincoln County. It's number 19. And the flags come out.
Austin Stratton, the ball carrier. Flag on the play.
Number 19, Austin Stratton, is down after a horrible face mask call.
Yeah,
training staff for Lincoln County rushing over to see if Austin's okay.
That was a bad one. Just got him right by the face mask and pulled him all the way around. We're going to add there, this is gut check time for Lincoln County. Scott's run 2 offensive plays, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, yep, exactly. It's really the worst thing that could happen after a great first half. Yeah, I'm going to say Lincoln County is very fortunate. I'm looking out on the field right now, and, you know, a lot of people have training staffs, and we actually have a doctor that's out there. You know, Doc Elkins has really donated a lot of his time for years to come out here just to help these kids out.
So while we have a moment, we're going to go off the air for just a few minutes, folks, with our mics, and we'll be back to you as soon as action resumes here at Hamlin Lions Club Field. 3:30 left here in the first half. Your score, Scott 14, Lincoln County nothing. We'll be right back on the air after the injury has been tended to. Okay, folks, we are coming back to action here with 3:30 left in the first half after the injury to Austin Stratton. The 1st and 10 from their own 41-yard line. Quarterback Jake Ashley in the pistol formation. 2 receivers split to his right. He's going to take and roll to his right. Plenty of time, rolling, and he fires to an open receiver, and he did not drag the foot. He was bobbling the pass out of bounds, and that'll be an incomplete. 2nd down and 10.
Number 13.
I believe we had a replay booth up here. When we went to the red flag.
Spencer.
I believe we
incomplete.
What do you think?
2nd down.
Oh, I definitely think we could have. Yeah, I think we need to throw the red flag and put the official under the hood and check that one out again. But again, they say no catch. He didn't have control as he went out of bounds. So we've got a 2nd down and 10 from their own 41. Lincoln County trailing Scott 14-0 as Jake Ashley takes the shotgun snap and a botched play, and Ashley's going to scramble and pick up positive yardage for Lincoln County. Pick up 5, maybe 6 yards on the carry, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down and a very manageable 4 to 5 yards.
If you're going back, you're going to have plays like that. Pretty heavy play, but I just need to say, hey, let's make something out of this.
Third and about 5.
Maybe not RG3, but that definitely looks like Andrew White playing the football.
That little better. Jake Ashley takes and quick drop back, fires. Pass is incomplete. Intended for number 1, Tanner Price. 4th down and 5 from their own 46, and 2:40 left on the clock, folks, in the first half, and the Panthers are going to have to give the ball back up. Personnel changes for Lincoln County as they get in punt formation. Waiting the snap. There's the snap. Bobbles the snap a little bit, and he's going to try to pick up the 1st down on his own, and he's going to be swarmed over by the Scott special teams. And Scott's going to have beautiful field position again before the first half ends, folks. 2:32 left in the 2nd quarter. Scott leading 14-0.
Tackle for a loss. It'll be 1st down for Scott. From the Panthers 37.
Yeah, I think when he initially bobbled it, he got a little rushed. I think he still would have had time to kick that off there, but it's real easy to say that from up here when you ain't got people bearing down on you.
It's number 1, Hunter Bradley, breaking free for the Skyhawks. He's going to be tripped up inside the 15-yard line, down to about the 12, and Scott's getting ready to punch another one in, folks. 2:24 left in the first half, and Scott threatening inside the Lincoln County red zone.
Looks like we got a cramp here. I'm surprised we're not seeing more with the heat tonight and the high humidity. I'm surprised we're not seeing more cramps tonight.
Got out for an injury.
Yeah. This really is crucial time for the defense to bow up right here and make a stop, because you played a great first half, really controlled the entire first half.
24 minutes, about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
You got to play every down, every snap. How do you know when the biggest play of the game is going to be? You don't want to do it when it's perfect, right? It could be in the first quarter, it could be the last play of the game. But in the meantime.
Oh yeah, exactly. We've all watched a lot of sports, and to the viewing audience out there that's watched a lot of sports, how many games have you seen that might be that one crucial call or that one crucial play in the second quarter? I told somebody we watched the W Alabama game last week. Those that watched it, there were some of these crucial 3rd down drops that at the time may not have seemed like much, but that could have been the crucial play that maybe pulled that upset. I go back to last year, and Marshall's lost visit to Middle Tennessee State. And, there were so many plays in that ball game. The same way, yeah, the Virginia Tech game, exactly like those plays. Everybody looks at that last play at the end of the ball game. Well, that was a huge play, but there were plays before that.
It looks like that was number 1, Hunter Bradley, for the Skyhawks, shaking up on the play, but he's walking off pretty good. Looks like just a cramp there, fellas, like you alluded to earlier. And the Skyhawks setting up shop, 1st and 10 from the Lincoln County 12. 2:24 left here in the second quarter. The Skyhawks leading 14-0 and threatening again. And the referee gives the resume play, and here we go. We'll take a handoff to number 2. That's Elijah Price for the Skyhawks, picking up positive yardage, pushing the ball inside the 10 to about the 6. It'll be a pickup of about 5 yards. 2nd down and 5 for the Skyhawks.
Yeah, I'll show you Price there at number 2, number 1 both. Showed great speed, great quickness. Again, they're not big backs, but they get to the holes real quickly, make the plant go, get what they can get. That was a great run right there. Could have tried to bounce that outside.
Looks better on TV.
2nd down and a short 4. That's number 10, the ball carrier. He's going to be swarmed over at about the 4, and then he's going to push the ball forward to the 3. Number 10, that is Cody Harvey on the carry for Scott.
I allude sometimes to those, as much as I love ESPN, but a lot of these kids watch that, they want to make that highlight run. Well, that highlight run's not what you need. That's what cost you 10-yard loss. Or they just get 3.
So the Skyhawks are facing a 3rd and 1 from the Panther 3. They can pick up a 1st down without getting the touchdown on a rolling clock. 1:09 left here in the first half. There's a fumble on the snap, and it's picked up by the first man through. And that's also fumbled again. And it looks the ball is still rolling. It's going to be a pickup. He's going to try to score for Lincoln County. He's going to run it out to about the 25-yard line.
Talk about turning the momentum of the ball. If the first guy there would have scooped that,
We've got penalty flags on the plays here, folks. 2 flags on the play. Looks like we might have some unsportsmanlike conduct. And we'll see.
I thought he was going to.
And we'll wait and see what the penalties are here. As the referees sort out the penalties here. But it will be Lincoln County football.
Yeah, I saw him. I thought, oh my, he's gone. If he scoops this, he's gone.
Just couldn't quite get the handle on it, but nonetheless, Lincoln County staves off a big threat, and will have at least the ball, hopefully, for the rest of the half with under a minute left here at Hamlin Lions Club Field. Waiting. That's very good, Jamie. Things did get a little chippy there after the fumble. Tempers flared a little bit, and we'll have to wait and see how the referees sort this one out. And usually in West Virginia, correct me if I'm wrong on this too, Coach, if you're ejected from one game, you sit the next week, correct? Okay.
You hate to see stuff like that what just happened. Tempers flared, a couple of swats were thrown there, but
personal foul against the Panthers.
yeah, they were offsetting. But I'm wondering if that's I'm wondering if this is what's going to get the Panthers kind of fired up. I noticed on the sideline the players kind of getting jacked up a little bit. I wonder if we've got our dander up now.
I can tell you I've had the privilege. I watched a little bit of this Hard Knocks on the NFL, and this year they did Atlanta, and they had a guy that was trying to make the team, and he actually, during his scrimmage games, had 2 15-yard penalties and basically cost him a job because the judge asked him, listen, we can't put up with that.
As my dad used to say, he's an ex-coach, and he used to say, you're giving up your bodies to the football gods, and you want that respect and that, to
control that emotion. To control that emotion when it hurts your team right there. For both players, control that emotion. For Scott losing 57, he's a big part of their defense tonight. He played a heck of a ball game. Yeah.
So So the fans are being entertained here at Hamlin Lions Club Field. A little Cotton Eye Joe. Panther Nation is out in full force, and also the black and gold of the Skyhawks filling up the other stands. And with the penalties, the ball will not move, but the one player again has been ejected for Scott. That's number 57. And Lincoln County takes over 1st and 10 with 56.9 seconds remaining in the first half. Ashley takes and gives to the first back through. That's number 20. And he's got a seam. 20, 50, 45, 40. 35 makes a move down to the 30-yard line. Inside the 30, that's Colton Beckelheimer. True freshman for Christian in the offense. And that's a big, big play for the Panthers. 44 seconds left on the clock as Beckelheimer takes them to the other side of the field, almost down to the Scott. We'll call it the 36-yard line.
I'm going to give a shout out to the left side of that offensive line because there was a hole you could have drove a truck through.
I did notice that too, Josh, when you said plant the foot and go. Well, when he broke free and planted that foot, he took off to the sideline. I saw a lot of open running room.
You know, long-time announcer here at the football games, John Smith, as he used to say it, gaping holes. Gaping holes.
And I believe they just burned their last one, Josh. No, they're going to wind the clock. So Lincoln County's got to get out on the ball. 38, 37, 36 seconds left. 1st and 10 from the Scott 31-yard line. Ashley back to pass, pump fake. Looking, and he will be dropped and sacked by the Skyhawk defense.
Number 56.
And now the last timeout will be called by Lincoln County. 23.3 on the clock. Big loss there, folks.
You got a little come with experience, but you got to cut the ball loose. I mean, just to throw it away, you see, 10 yards, 15 yards right there. You just can't take that sack. The clock will stop and make a quick pass and save yourself 15.
You know, it's so hard for us to forget since Jake started every game last year that just a sophomore. You know, like you said, as he gets more experience, he'll learn to roll that a little quicker and just chuck it out of bounds. As they always say, you know, retreat a little bit to fight another day.
That's something. Tyler, he reminds me of Tyler. You do that as a sophomore and then a junior, you got a little better. As a senior, his senior year, you know, that straight pass on first time he was so good.
I know where
4 times all year.
Right, I know where one of those votes came from too, Josh.
It wasn't because we had the best offensive linemen.
I'll tell you what you'll see, and you see this at every level. From the college level, the guy comes up there and makes those same freshman mistakes. Then you see the rookie quarterbacks in the NFL. So even the experienced guys, their first year, kind of under the heat, you know, under the gun, make those. And like you said, the more he plays, the more experience he gets. A play like that right there, he'll learn to say, "Hey, chuck that, get out of bounds."
Okay, so we're getting ready after the timeout. 2nd down and long for Lincoln County. Ashley, 2 receivers split to his left, 1 to his right. There's an inside give, and that's blown up nicely by the Scott defense again. And that's going to be number 50, Aaron Grant. We've called his name a few times. Scott was ready for that one. That was Beckelheimer on the carry. Panthers trying to rush and get the offense set. Ashley has the play. This will be the last play of the half. Ashley eludes the pressure. He's going to fire deep downfield. He's got a man, and it's tipped away at the last second by the Scott secondary. Looking for Corey Rusk on that, and Corey Rusk was behind the receiver, but the cornerback turned and made a nice defensive play to knock that one out, fellas.
I'll tell you what, you know, just like I'm going to give Lincoln County some credit for that goal line stand there, that fumble, you got to give Scott a lot of credit there. Their defense could have caved in real quickly there and gave up the score, but they helped up.
Okay, well, we are at halftime here at Hamlin Lions Club Field, and we're going to turn off the mics for a little bit and let you folks be entertained by the Scott High Marching Band and the pride of all of Lincoln County, the Lincoln County High Marching Panthers, during halftime. But we'll be back for the second half right here on the Panther Sports Network, brought to you by Armstrong and the Lincoln Journal.
and gentlemen, make welcome the Skyhawk Marching Band. And now, under the direction of Kimberly Cook, the pride of Lincoln County, the Panther Marching Band. raffle. Please take out your blue raffle ticket and check the number at the bottom. The winner number is 787583. That's the blue raffle ticket for the 50-50 drawing, 787583. Please report to the concession stand at the front entrance to claim your prize. The Lincoln County Junior ROTC program would like to thank all who participated in tonight's draw. Tonight's game will be televised by Armstrong Cable. For a DVD copy of tonight's game, email Armstrong at lp4@zoominternet.net. Here are some scores of interest from around the region. At the half, Logan 20, Shady Springs 7. Lewis County 21, Preston 7. Woodrow Wilson 34, Greenbrier East 6. Point Pleasant at the half, 28, Ripley nothing. At the half, South Charleston 43, St. Albans 8. And at halftime, Ritchie County 7, Rome County nothing.
We're getting ready to start the second half here in about a minute and a half. Ryan Pritchard back with Josh Shemp, and Brian Vance and Jamie Jones, the wizard of the stat sheet. As Scott leads Lincoln County 14-0. We're going to bring you some scores from around the state thanks to the internet. Okay, in AAA, it's number 1 Martinsburg leading Sharonda, Virginia 26-0. Capital leading Riverside 46-6. Number 2 Bridgeport is trailing number 6 Wheeling Park 14-10. That's a final score. Wheeling Park has upset number 2 Bridgeport 14-10. And number 3 South Charleston all over St. Albans 43-8 second quarter. And in a bit of a surprise, Spring Valley leading Huntington 14-7 in the third quarter. Number 5 Morgantown leading Brook 28-12 third quarter. Number 7 Point Pleasant all over Ripley 38-0 in the third quarter. Winfield trailing number 8 Cabell Midland 41-0 in the third quarter. Number 9 University leading Parkersburg South 20-3 in the third quarter. And George Washington has taken a 20-17 third quarter lead over Paul Blazer, Kentucky. Woodrow Wilson leading Greenbrier East 42-12 in the fourth quarter. It's Millbrook, Virginia leading Hedgesville 59-6 in the fourth quarter. Preston leading Lewis County leading Preston 21-7 third quarter. Logan, which will be Lincoln County's next opponent next week right here at Hamlin Lions Club Field, is leading Shady Spring 26-13 in the third quarter. It's Jefferson, a 1-0 record against Mountain Ridge, Maryland, leading Mountain Ridge 22-6 in the third quarter. Hurricane all over Nitro in the third quarter 40-12. It's Musselman leading Oak Hill 14-8 at the half. And it's Spring Mills leading Washington 24-20 in the third quarter. And in AA, it's number 1 Wayne leading Sissonville 20-7 in the third quarter. So beginning the second half, it will be the Panthers kicking off to Scott.
Number 1, Hunter Bradley.
Number 1, Hunter Bradley back deep for the Skyhawks to receive the second half kickoff, and we're underway here at Hamlin Lions Club Field. Scott leading Lincoln County 14-0. That's Hunter Bradley making his way up the sideline before he is tackled by the Lincoln County special teams. And the Skyhawks, Josh, are going to start with really nice field position with their opening possession here in the second half.
Knocked out of bounds by number 22.
So the Panthers
will see what kind of halftime adjustments Lincoln County's going to make here to try to shut down the running game between the tackles and off tackle there.
Okay.
Not much secret about it. I mean, they're just lining up and running the ball right there.
So Scott getting their play call in from the sideline from Coach Shane Griffith. And sends a man in motion from right to left. And he will keep. That's a quarterback keeper out of the spread attack, and he's going to pick up nice yardage on first down. And the chains will move once again for Scott as their opening possession here in the second half showing a lot of promise.
They had 10 players on the field that play.
Well, it's easier with 11 if you're only playing against 10, right, Coach?
Well, I kept counting them. I thought I was miscounting somebody. But.
All right, Scott moving the ball at will here on their opening possession of the second half. That's number 16. That's Kirk Price.
Over field tackle. There's a lot of green in front of him.
Kirk Price, the ball carrier.
Kirk Price carries for the Skyhawks. Pickup of about 3 yards will be second down and 7 for the Skyhawks as they move into Panther territory, crossing the 40 down to the 37-yard line. That's number 2 who misses the initial tackle, and he will push forward for positive yardage. That's Elijah Price for the Skyhawks, and he's going to push forward for about 2 yards, bringing up a third down and 5.
That blitzing linebacker there, he just came right through the middle. Just did. This is a big drive here. You know, to get a stop, and get the ball back. It's down 2 scores.
Third down.
Got to think Scott's in 2-down territory right here.
And the Scott quarterback will take and give to the man standing behind him right up the gut. That's going to be another Skyhawk first down. It's number 10, Cody Harvey on the carry for Scott. He's going to pick up about 6 yards, and that'll move the chains once again for the Skyhawks. And we've got an injured Scott player on the field. Okay, so while we have a moment, while they tend to the injured player down there. Lincoln County's opponent next week, fellas, the Logan Wildcats coming in, and they were leading Shady Spring in the third quarter by a couple of touchdowns. Wildcats look to be a bit of a threat. Well, not to jump the gun early here, but Logan always seems ready to play when they come.
Absolutely. Again, sort of developing rivalry here. You know, people understand Lincoln County's still relatively new school.
Yeah, the school was opened in 2006.
So, you know, it's still a relatively new school in the kind of those rivalries as we get it, you know, grow the program.
Right.
Logan would definitely consider one of those rivalries. There's definitely some bad blood there. Things kind of get ugly. You just on 7-on-7s in the summer.
Right.
Yeah, that's a rivalry.
Okay, so the injured player is being helped off the field. Looks like an ankle, possibly a knee there. And Scott will have a new set of downs as they move into Lincoln County territory once again. 1st and 10 from the 29. That's number 16 on the carry. That's Kirk Price for the Skyhawks. He's going to get stopped at the line of scrimmage, and that will be just about it. Might nudge the ball forward for about a half yard. 2nd down and long for the Skyhawks. With 9:59 left in the third quarter, Scott leading 14-0 and pushing the ball down the field, looking to add to that already impressive lead.
Price carried the ball. Scott was made of the interior line of the Panthers. Minimal gain, 2nd down.
Seems to me when they're third and short, very manageable. They're just really running downhill.
Okay, that's number 1. That's Hunter Bradley springing around the right side. And a couple of missed tackles, and Hunter Bradley's going to push the ball forward. Positive yardage again for the Skyhawks. He's going to pick up about 4 yards, and it's going to set up another manageable third down for Scott, gentlemen. 3rd and about 5 from the Lincoln County 25.
Short, it wasn't a huge game right there, but in the first half, that was absolutely nothing. They were getting nothing outside. You know they got to expect us, since they've had some success up the middle, to start stacking the middle.
That's what you're seeing there. You blitz the outside linebacker on that side right there. The middle in between the DN and the tackle. They bounce it outside and just got a corner and pursue linebackers there.
Big down here for Lincoln County's defense. Scott facing a 3rd and 5, one man in motion. And that's Bradley pushing the pile forward. And it looks like he might have enough for the first down. It'll depend on the spot. And it looks like the referees are going to take time out and take a look at the sticks and see if he's got the first down. Maybe call in a first down, maybe call in for a measurement. And that's what they're going to do here, folks.
Pretty generous spot. That's kind of what I was thinking. That's what kills me. You go in and tackle somebody. Don't push them forward. Pull them backwards. Always drives me crazy.
The one rule they've adjusted over the years is the forward progress rule. When you get in this forward progress, even though you bounce the guy backwards, they give him the spot. But yet if he breaks the tackle and can keep running, that's fine.
Okay, so the yardage was enough, and the Skyhawks will move the chains again. Now they have a 1st and 10. They're inside the Lincoln County red zone. 1st and 10 from the 20. 8:45 on a rolling clock here in the 3rd quarter. Scott leading 14-0 and looking to add to that lead. He's got 2 receivers split, one to each side. He's going to take and fake the inside reverse. And he's going to step up into the pocket. He's being pursued, and escapes. That's Kirk Price on the move to the 10. For the 5, he's going to walk in for a Skyhawk touchdown. Kirk Price from 20 yards out. And the Skyhawks are back on the board. They take their opening possession of the second half. That's not what Lincoln County needed, fellas. And Lincoln County now staring again at a 20-0 deficit. 8:22 left in the 3rd.
And really, you got to say, I'll give credit to the quarterback for making a great play there. But that's 2 scores now they've had on basically broken plays. The quarterback is done. We have 4 guys around him, and somehow he loses all the tackles and gets out.
Full load every time he's out there. You just got to make fundamental tackles and get him down. Get a nice negative play.
Attempt is good.
Take him out of their comfort zone. A lot of younger kids out there. You got to just do the fundamentals, like you said, blocking the
Donovan Moore makes good on the extra point kick. So with that being said, 8:22 left here in the 3rd quarter at Hamlin Lions Club Field. It's the Scott Skyhawks 21 and Lincoln County nothing. Got check time for the Panthers, fellas? Or are we past that?
No, right here. I think, it's still 8:22 to go in the 3rd. There's plenty of time. No need to panic right now. We have shown some success moving the football. We've just got to sustain a drive, get a score on the board. Break through that seal, and then let's see what happens after that. I know the defense didn't look great right there, but the first half the defense played well except for 2 plays.
Well, just got a very interesting stat here from Jamie, fellas. 8-play drive, 60 yards. Very businesslike in their approach.
And but then again, an absolutely blown play. Should have been sacked for about a 5-yard, 6-yard loss.
And instead he squirts loose for,
Skyhawks, number 12 is Donovan Moore.
Okay, so Donovan Moore tees it up, and he's going to kick off for Scott.
Dustin Cooper and Tanner Price.
So Tanner Price, number 1, Dustin Cooper, 22, back deep to receive for the Panthers. Let's see if Moore gives them a chance to return. And he approaches and kicks it. It's a high end-over-end kick, and it's going to be Tanner Price who fumbles the kick, and he picks it back up, and he's got a lane. Tanner Price crosses the 20, crosses the 25, and he will be tackled around the 27-yard line, because the Panthers will now have a 1st and 10 to throw in 27. 8:13 left here in the second half, in the 3rd quarter, trailing 21-0.
Again, not bad field position, and in a given night like this, I can tell you right now that ball gets a little short. As the dew starts to fall, you got to take better care of it and pay attention because it's going to get slick.
First down for the Panthers on their own 28.
Okay, fellas, let's see what adjustments have been made here in the second half for the Panthers. Their opening possession here in the 3rd quarter. Jake Ashley, pistol formation, 2 receivers to his left. It's a quarterback run all the way, and it's going to be snuffed out. People will say he was down by contact. Jake Ashley got submarined, and he'll be lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage depending on the spot. It'll be a no gain on the play for Ashley and the Panther offense.
Tackle by John Lee Fuller. No gain, second down.
So Lincoln County held their own during the first half, and now we're going to see what the offense can do here in the second half. Second down and 11 for Ashley and the Panthers. Takes and he gives to the first man through the hole. That's number 20. That's Colton Beckelheimer. Beckelheimer's going to push the pile forward. He's going to have 5, have 10, 11, 12, give him 13 on the carry, and it's going to be a first down for Lincoln County.
Colton Beckelheimer, ball carrier. Stop was made by Cody Harvey.
Great game so far. You know, he's getting
First down for the Panthers.
every snap is right there.
41, 42.
Can't overstate that enough. Getting that ball, you got calling out blocking schemes and thinking about who he's blocking and somebody's blitzing on the A game. So a shotgun snap. Owen Jackson.
And it's going to pitch out to Beckelheimer, who's going to cut it, turn it up inside, pick up about a yard on the carry. He got turned back in, and he's going to pick up positive yardage.
I think we had a little misassignment right there. That linebacker made a tackle, was untouched.
Cody Harvey in 1, second down.
Cody Harvey on the tackle for the Skyhawks. It's going to be second down and 9 for Lincoln County from their own 43-yard line. 6:50 here on a rolling clock in the third quarter. Panthers trailing the Skyhawks 21-0. Daniels brings the lineman up, and he gets over center. Ashley, 2 receivers split to his left, 1 to his right. Pistol formation, sends a man in motion. And that play is blown up nicely by the Scott defense. They were ready for that one. Looked like almost zero blocking from the lineman there as he shot through and made the play in the backfield, and that's going to be a loss of about 5 yards.
I'm not for sure if the other back there should have picked that up. I think he blew the assignment because he kind of went a little wide and left him wide open.
He got there pretty quick. He just about took the pick.
Yeah. And again, behind the chains again, which is not what this offense wants to be.
Third down and long for Lincoln County. Probably a passing down for the Panthers. Ashley takes straight drop, quick fires a pass in between 2 receivers, and the ball will roll incomplete. And now Lincoln County forced to punt after the drive showed some promise on the 1 carry, picking up a first down. And then they went backwards with 2 negative plays and are forced to punt. 5:53 left here in the third.
Tonight for the Panthers, inconsistency. We've had some really good-looking plays, but we can't sustain a drive. We can't put anything together.
All right, so the Panthers are back in punt formation, and the punt is away. It's an end-over-end kick. It'll be fielded cleanly at the 35. Fumble on the play, and it looks like the Skyhawks recover.
Yeah, that could have been big right there, but, you know, again, a lucky bounce.
Hunter Bradley, the ball carrier.
Bounces any other way, we probably picked that up.
Justin Butcher. First down.
Okay, so the Skyhawks avoid the turnover, and we'll have a first and 10 at their own 39-yard line. 5:49 left to go here in the third quarter. Skyhawks leading 21-0. Momentum definitely on their side, fellas. Panthers need a 3-and-out right here.
Or turnover. Turnover would be huge. Yeah.
Kirk Price waiting the snap. Takes the snap, gives to the first man back. Nice wide gaping hole. That's number 10, and he slips the tackle. Number 10, Cody Harvey on the carry. Nice gain for the Skyhawks, but we got a flag on the play back at the Panther 45-yard line. Let's wait and see what that is.
Checking the line and seeing what we're giving them, guys. Because, I mean, they're, if you get a defensive setup there, guys.
It looked like to me, really.
If you give them the 3 or the 5 hole, and that guard's just going to get to the linebacker, that's the only person there.
It's really interesting. It looked like our defensive end was almost playing outside linebacker position, like a 3-down lineman set. Kind of surprised by that. Oh, you're right. That hole was matched
Get
right there.
stopped. 10-yard penalty, spotted the foul. Still first down.
extend, and that means, you move around pre-snap, so they can't get the pre-snap read.
Mm-hmm.
If you're supposed to control B gap, you may line up in the C gap outside the tackle, and then slide in before the snap.
So here come the Skyhawks after the holding penalty, backs them up. Back to their own 45, second down and 4. That's number 27, Curtis Hill, the carry for Scott. He's going to pick up positive yardage. Actually, no, he's going to get back maybe to the line of scrimmage. Second down for the Skyhawks.
No gain, second down.
At their own 45. And the Scott offense looks over the defensive set. He's going to take. He's got one-on-one coverage. He's got a man in and out of the hands of his of Price's intended receiver.
Not a bad call right there, considering we really had all that blitz coming right there. So it was one-on-one coverage on the outside. Again, it almost looked like a pre-snap read.
In and out of the hands of his intended receiver.
Third down.
So it's third down and 4 for the Skyhawks from their own 45. 4:40 left here in the third quarter. Scott leading 21-0. Kirk Price looks over the defense, kicks a man in motion. He'll fake and then give to the second back through. That's number 10, Cody Harvey. And he's going to be very close to another Skyhawk first down.
Cody Harvey, the ball carrier.
As he gets positive yardage.
Again, as running backs always fall forward, and that's exactly what he did right there. And he pushed hard enough just to get that extra yard.
Looks like the referees are going to take timeout and measure this spot. So,
again, it seems like with the last drive and with this drive, third down seems to be the issue. You've got to get off the field on third down. Somebody's going to have to make that play to get us off the field on third down.
right. And they stretch the chains, and it's going to be enough for a Skyhawk first down. So with 4:26 left in the third, Skyhawks pick up another first down right at midfield.
Yeah, it's true.
4 yards or less, that's a manageable play. You get third and 10, third and 15, it's totally different story.
So the Skyhawks keep their second possession of the second half alive, picking up a first down right at midfield. Kirk Price into man in motion. He's going to drop back and he's going to throw deep and out of play. Overthrew his intended receiver on that play and brings up second down and 10.
Kirk Price's pass.
Looked like a little bit of miscommunication. Broke inside, so the quarterback either just threw it away because there was nothing there. Because there's pretty good coverage on that play.
I'm going to go ahead and give a little bit of kudos to the defender. I think the defender turned him in. The kid couldn't get turned out. He wanted to, but the Panther was just there to turn him back in.
He's been flip-flopping sides. So that's a go-to receiver.
I think it's going to be Kirk Price on the zone read. He's going to keep for the Skyhawks. And again, he's going to fall forward just like you alluded to, Brian, and pick up positive yardage. Probably about 3 yards, maybe 4 yards on the carry. It'll be third down and 6 for the Hawks.
Again, he got just enough to make it that third
That was made by
and
number
6,
62, Morgan Smith.
still a very manageable third down. But if you look at really interesting what Lincoln County's done right here, it seems like in this last drive, we're almost daring them to throw it. We're bulking the free safety up and decided we're going to stop the run. And
that's what's got us beat tonight. You got to
Number 2, Elijah Price is going to break free and have nice yardage for the Skyhawks. That's going to be another first down.
Elijah Price, the ball carrier. Scott is made by number 3, Corey Rush.
Elijah Price picks up almost 10 on the play. And the Skyhawks move the chains once again. First and 10
on the Panther 37.
from the Panther 37.
when they need a big play, they come back to like a 5 hole.
Two receivers split to the right, one to the left. He's going to take and give to the first man through. That's number 10. That is Cody Harvey breaking free. He will have another Skyhawk touchdown. 37 yards on first down. And the Skyhawks are back in the end zone, fellas.
Again, another really missed tackle.
And again, right up the middle too, fellas. They've found something in the defense that they obviously like. They're taking advantage of it. And you know, they broke the first touchdown was right up the gut, and then again we see it here again. You know, he makes one move and again a missed tackle after about 5 or 6 yards, and you know, pay dirt.
Oh, I agree totally. For the most part, they haven't had very much success on the outside at all tonight.
Donovan Moore's kick is no good.
The point attempt is no good.
They just gashed me right there. And I thought the middle was played all that night. It's just always that one play.
Corey Rush.
So this
Just doing the pre-snap read, I mean, like we talked.
So with 2:54 left here in the third quarter, Scott extends their lead to 27-0 after the failed extra point kick. But again, nice comfortable lead for the Skyhawks here, folks. So let's try to get in the mind here of the coaching staff, fellas, and see. You know, you're down 27-0, 2:54 left in the third. You can still salvage some nice drives here.
Oh, you know, it's see what you're about. You see what kind of heart these kids have got. You know, listen, it's still the third quarter. Just help them. No, I mean, a score here before the fourth quarter. You throw in maybe a turnover here and there and a quick score. Next thing you're right back in the ball game.
Yeah. Kicking off for the Skyhawks, number 12 is Donovan Moore, back deep for the Panthers, Justin Cooper and Tanner Price.
High and deep end over end kick, and that will be fielded by Tanner Price, who drops the ball and picks it back up for the 10, 15, 20, and spins down about the 23. And there comes the flag for a late hit.
You know, I can say this, and you don't want to see the return man fumble that ball. But how many times have you seen the return man fumble that ball and the other team get out of their lanes at that point and it breaks for something big?
Flag on the play.
Yeah.
Okay, the referees meet to discuss the flag.
Personal foul.
Be a personal foul against the Skyhawks for a late hit after the play. That's a 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So the Panthers should have really nice field position here to start this drive. Be a 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line. And the Panthers are on a 27-0, down 27-0, I should say, 2:46 left here in the third quarter. 1st and 10, Lincoln County from their own 44. And the ref blows the whistle, ready for play. Ashley takes, he's going to roll to his left, draw back and fire, and it's caught off of a deflection. That's number 3.
Number 3, Corey Rush.
Corey Rush on the catch off the deflection. Corey Rush is going to have a first down for the Panthers. Lincoln County showing some life here on this drive.
I'll tell you right now, that's a lot of concentration on Corey right there. You know, if he hands, how easy it is to lose focus on that. So be able to stay with it and make the catch, and then have the wherewithal to turn. I've got it now. Let's make something good out of it.
Okay, so the Panthers 1st and 10 on the Scott side of the field at the Skyhawk 40-yard line. Ashley's going to take. It's a design quarterback run. Looking for daylight. He's going to be tracked down from behind. And the ball squirts loose, but he's down by contact. And he's going to lose probably 4, maybe 5 yards on the play. And now the Panthers 2nd down and 15.
That was made by Tristan Crone. Loss on the play. It's 2nd down.
You know, it's sad right there that happened because that's the first drive we started with positive yardage tonight. First drive we've started with positive yardage.
Yeah, that was, again, now, behind the chains with this offense, you got to have a positive play here. 5, 6, 7 yard gain. You know, something to get third down manageable.
Man gives a motion for Ashley. Ashley's going to take and give it to the first man through. That's Colton Beckelheimer with a crack and a seam, and there you go, Brian. What you alluded to, positive yardage on the very next play. Picks up 5, maybe 6 yards, and now the Panthers still face a third down and about 9 for the first down.
And see, now you're in 2-down territory. Again, a positive play here. Even if you get 5, 6, 7 yards out here, it makes fourth down a little bit easier to get because we're definitely in 2-down territory.
Okay, so third down and 9 for Lincoln County. 2 receivers split out to the right, 1 out to the left. Ashley with a lone running back behind him. Ashley in the pistol formation takes the shotgun snap, bobbles it a bit, and corrals it. He's got a man open down the field, and that pass is caught for Lincoln County. Number 1, that's Tanner Price on the reception. A diving, sliding catch by Price, and the Panthers now have a 1st and 10. 17-yard on the pass from Ashley to Price. Lincoln County sitting up outside the Scott 20-yard line. Call it 1st and 10 from the 23.
You know, I was saying that last play, you're going to see Jake kind of growing up right there a little bit. Real easy, could have panicked right there and took off running, but picked the ball up, kept his cool, made his read, saw it open, made a great throw, and a good catch.
1 receiver split to the left, 1 to the right. Man in motion across the formation for Ashley and the Panthers. Ashley's going to take him, give it to Beckelheimer, who's tripped up in the backfield, and he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that'll be about it for Beckelheimer.
Colton Beckelheimer, the ball carrier.
Referee calls the timeout, and no gain on the play. It'd be 2nd down coming up for Lincoln County.
I think the official called an injury timeout there.
And with just a few seconds left here in the third quarter, Panthers setting up their formation. 5, 4, 3, 2. Referee's going to blow the clock.
Timeout Panthers.
Timeout Lincoln County with 2.7 seconds left in the third quarter. Trailing 27-0.
I tell you what, I'm gonna give a heads up, or hats off to these young kids out here. Beckelheimer, and, you know, Jake Ashley, he's a sophomore, but these freshmen. Beckelheimer showing some really good moves, perseverance after he's met at the line of scrimmage. I've seen him through the binoculars 4 or 5 times. He's been met behind the line of scrimmage, but he kept digging and digging and digging. Just, it's awesome. These young kids, it just, I don't know, kind of whet your appetite for things to come in the next couple of years.
And in all, you know, and I've heard we got a pretty good all-season program, and that's the tip of these kids got to realize, you know, in the off-season where games are won, not here on the field. You know, so if you
very true.
Like Beckelheimer to really, and a lot of these young kids, to keep this momentum going, keep working the off-season, and trust me, all that hard work does pay off.
They're mostly ones in that play. That's a strong point of our team, really. Seniors up front.
Okay, so with 2.7 left here in the third quarter, be the last play of the quarter. Lincoln County faces a 2nd and 9 from the Skyhawk 23-yard line. Man in motion from left to right. Ashley's going to take a drop back to pass. He's got a man going down the sideline, and it's going to be incomplete. And that will end the third quarter of play. So with 3 in the books and 1 left to go, folks. Scott leads Lincoln County 27-0 here at Hamlin Lions Club Field. And Lincoln County will now face a 3rd down and 9 from their own 23 as we switch ends.
While we got a break here, I want to go ahead and mention that Armstrong has a project going on. We've had it for some time. This is a little digital wrapper project. So if you're watching this program, you have a TV that does not have a digital box on it. Come October 21st, you know, you'll need that box. You get 2 for free. You can stop by the office, you can go to the website and or if you need it, if you have problems, we'll come install it for free. So we trying to get everybody to get these boxes in. Come October 21st, if you don't have a box on your TV, you're not going to get a picture. And the reason we're doing this is because we're going to capture some of this bandwidth, increase your internet speeds, add a little more variety and some channels once we get this capacity in. So, we got a lot of things going on in Armstrong right now. And really, just stop by the office. These boxes are simple to hook. I mean, they're easy. I can do it, so it's got to be easy.
Well, I can remember as a young child growing up here, Brian, when Armstrong brought cable in, and now the days of cable are going by the wayside, and now we're all going digital. And come October 21st, if you don't have a box, you don't have a picture, correct?
Oh, absolutely correct. And you know what? The picture quality you get is in digital picture a lot better than my signal. So we see a lot of improvements there.
All right, here we go. Start of the fourth quarter. Ashley, 3rd down and 9. He's going to take and fire deep down the sideline. Looking for a man. He's got one. And that's Tanner Price on the receiving end of that score from Ashley. 23 yards, and the Panthers ring up 6. And that's the first touchdown of 2014 for Derek Christian and his Panther offense.
I'll tell you right now, that was a great throw because what he did right there, he recognized the one-on-one coverage, throw it up and give the receiver a chance to make a play. And Tanner Price, great play. He really just out-jumped the defender.
And the Panthers are going to try for the extra point here. Get all the personnel on the field. And the Panthers are set for the extra point try. The snap is down, hold is down, and the kick is blocked by the Skyhawk defense. So the extra point is no good, but the Panthers showing some life, getting up off the canvas a little bit, fellas. And it's the Jake Ashley to Tanner Price, 23-yard touchdown, and the Panthers are on the board, still trailing Scott 27-6.
A lot of resolve there for these kids. Like I said before, we're still 11:54 to go in this ball game. Anything can happen. If you keep playing, you keep working, good things will happen.
Chuck it around a little bit, first and second man. This thing's going to get you back. Just load the box up. Got one-on-one out there. Kid throw it around.
Tell you what else I'll say. Great protection. Nobody was within 5 yards of him on that play.
Lincoln County set to tee it up here after the 23-yard touchdown pass from Jake Ashley to Tanner Price. That's Tristan Roberts kicking off for Lincoln County.
Hunter Bradley.
Tristan Roberts, a multi-sport athlete at Lincoln County High, also plays on the Panthers soccer team. Nice kickoff end over end down to the 20. And that's Scott return man to the 20, 25-30, 35-40. 45-50 over midfield to the 45, crosses the 45 down to the 43-yard line. Brought down.
I'm sure if there's one thing the coach is going to take from this film, I've seen a lot of guys in position to make plays, make tackles, a lot of arm tackling going on. When you arm tackle, that's the result you get.
Hunter Bradley with a nice return for Scott. Then the Skyhawks set up shop on the Panther side of the 50, fellas.
Yeah.
Skyhawks, 2 receivers split left and right. He's going to take to the only man in the backfield. That's number 10, Cody Harvey. Cody Harvey's loose again, fellas. 10-5 touchdown. Skyhawks.
The ball carrier for the Skyhawk touchdown.
Cody Harvey, 43 yards. And the Skyhawks add to the lead. Just as soon as Lincoln County gets on the board, Skyhawks take one play and they're back in the end zone, Brian.
And another missed tackle. Again, 2 guys had to be down in the backfield. Missed tackle, and that's what happens.
Skyhawks are setting up now for the extra point kick. That's Donovan Moore, who is set to kick the extra point for Scott, leading 33-6 with 11:34 left in the game. Kick is up, hold is down, and the kick is no good, wide right. So with 11:34 left in the game, Scott leads Lincoln County 33-6. Okay, so Lincoln County now has to regroup and bring the offense back on the field and try to put another scoring drive together, Brian.
Yeah, you need one now. And unfortunately, right now we're behind the 8. As long as the thing drives or something we can't have.
Plenty of time to do that too. We've got to sustain some drives again, and just like Josh said earlier, maybe get down in the playbook a little bit, find and find some plays that may work. I'm not saying abandon the game plan totally here, but again, time is of the essence. I'd like to put another couple scores together here before it's said and done.
Oh, absolutely. The one thing I'd like to see brought out in the offense I haven't seen yet is some screen passes. We haven't done a lot of screens tonight, and I'd like to see the Donovan get them out.
Right.
We'll have to see we can make that break.
22, Justin Cooper, and number 1, Tanner Price.
So Tanner Price back deep to receive. And the Panthers finally field the kickoff. Dustin Cooper returns it up to about the 31-yard line where the Panthers will set up shop, 1st and 10. Wow, but that's a battle. I'll bet that is a battle going on. Do we have a score update, Josh, on the Logan Shady Spring game by chance? All right. Timeout, Scott. So as the Skyhawks take a timeout, we'll run over some scores here for you folks while we've got a minute. Number 3, South Charleston all over St. Albans, 56-8 in the third quarter. And as Josh said earlier, that score is still the same at Spring Valley. The Timberwolves leading the Highlanders 21-14, and that game is moved into the fourth quarter. Number 5, Morgantown leading Brook 35-19. Final from Ripley, number 7, Point Pleasant 52, Ripley nothing.
Point's got a really, really good football team.
Yes, they do. Number 8, Cabell Midland leading Winfield 48-0. That game is moved into the fourth quarter. And University is leading Parkersburg South 20-10 in the fourth quarter. Paul Blazer, Kentucky, and George Washington all tied at 20 in the fourth quarter. And Woodward Wilson final over Greenbrier East 49-12. Elkins and Hampshire are tied at 23-23 in the third quarter. And Millbrook, Virginia has beaten Hedgesville, Brian, by a final score of 73-6. Preston is down to Lewis County, 28-7. They will be here at Lincoln County in a few weeks, Brian. Lewis County, fresh off their playoff berth last year. And Logan leading Shady Spring 26-13 in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10 for Lincoln County. Jake Ashley takes. He's going to drop back and fire a pass. The pass is caught by number 44. That's another freshman, DJ Derrickson, on the reception. And he's going to pick up positive yardage for the Panthers, probably about 4 yards on the reception.
Nice pass. In your chest. I've seen that mistake made a lot of times. The receivers want to let it come in the body. Bouncing out, so always good ball with your hands. Nice play.
All right, another quick score update in Class AA. It's number Wayne leading Sissonville 20-7 in the fourth quarter. Jake Ashley sends a man in motion. He's going to take and give to that man in motion. Fumble on the play. And there's a scramble. And it has been recovered by the Skyhawks at the about the Panther 30-yard line, looks like, folks. So after the nice Pitch and catch to Derrickson. Panthers cough it up, and the Skyhawks have a very short field again, Brian.
Yeah, again, just seems like Lincoln County continues to shoot themselves in the field. You know, it seems like on most of the drives tonight, it's been as much us stopping ourselves as Scott stopping us.
I will agree with you on that very, very much. Okay, so here comes the Skyhawk offense. 2 receivers split left, 1 to the right. He's going to take and give to the man in motion. He's going to cut upfield. It's number 27, Curtis Hill, on the carry for Scott. He's going to pick up positive yardage for the Skyhawks. Pick up about 5 yards, and it'll be 2nd down and 5 from the 25. 10-19 left in the game on a rolling clock. Scott leading Lincoln County 33-6.
And 5, 2nd down.
Skyhawk offense comes back out once again. 2 receivers split left, 1 to the right. Man in motion from right to left. He's going to give to the second man through. That's number 10, Cody Harvey. He's going to be tripped up just beyond the line of scrimmage. Give him a yard, and it'll be 3rd down and 4 for the Skyhawks.
You know, you have to wonder somewhat at this point in the game with the heat and humidity, how much death becomes a factor now. You know, with the young kids we've got, maybe you're not having enough time yet to develop that bigger, faster, and stronger. So they can still be in shape, but battling them big bodies all night takes a toll on you.
So here comes Scott attempting to convert another 3rd down. That's number 1, Hunter Bradley. Now Hunter Bradley's going to push the ball forward, but I think he's going to come up short of the 1st down, and it'll be 4th down coming up for Scott.
Hunter Bradley, the ball carrier. Stop was made by number 50, Tristan Daniel.
You know, a lot of times tonight, Scott's running backs give him a lot of credit. The first guy very rarely brings him down.
I'll notice that too. I mean, it's, you know, the initial contact is made and they kind of either shake that off or better yet, they're not even there. They get by that first wave, plant that foot and turn up in the hole. Okay, so we have a 4th down and 1 for the Skyhawk offense. 8:45 on a rolling clock here in the 4th quarter. He's going to take and give to the man in motion. That's number 2, Elijah Price. And Price is going to squirt through a hole, and I believe he has enough for the 1st down. He does. He's going to pick up 5 yards, and it's going to be Scott 1st and 10 inside the Lincoln County red zone, Brian.
Yeah, you know, that Price kid, he's shifty and quick. You know, maybe so much that top end speed, but he gets it right now. You notice that right there, once he made the cut, he was blasting through at full speed, which allowed him to gain that 3-4 yards to get that 1st down.
Okay, so Scott 1st and 10 from the Panther 17.
Hunter Bradley, the ball carrier.
That's number 1, Hunter Bradley on the carry. So we'll move the ball forward for a couple of yards on the pickup. Bring up 2nd down and 8.
You know, there was a prime example right there. Broke through the first tackle. You know,
no gain on the play.
It could have been actually a loss of 2. But their backs run hard.
Okay, so Bradley pushes the ball back to the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 2nd down and 10 for the Skyhawks. 7:53 on a rolling clock here in the 4th quarter. Scott leading Lincoln County 33-6 and looking for more. And we've got movement across the offensive line. Looks like it's going to be a false start against Scott. So we'll back them up 5, and it'll be 2nd down and 14.
Still 2nd down.
You know, that's really interesting. Josh talked about this earlier in the first half. Other than a few penalties here and there, this has been a pretty well-played ball game.
It's been a very clean game. You're right.
I mean, other than a couple face masks, a personal foul.
Right.
You know, for the most part, you haven't seen many holding. One block in the back.
The penalties have been very minimal this evening. You're right. So now Scott facing a 2nd down and 15 from the Lincoln County 23. Kirk Price brings his troops up. Kicks a man in motion. He's going to give to that motion man. That's Elijah Price. Price is going to squirt through a hole. Has 5, has 10. And he's down inside the 10-yard line, but I believe he's still short of the 1st down. A nice bit of running there by Price.
You know,
he scores through the hole, Brian.
Having that quick back, if you notice, even we got them behind the chains tonight, it seems like the next play they make that play to gain that 9-10-yard gain, put it in a manageable situation.
So we're going to call it 3rd down and 3 from right on the 10-yard line. So a 3rd down and 3 coming up here, and 3rd down has been really good to Scott here tonight, fellas.
Elijah
Price is going to be tracked down for a loss by the Lincoln County defense on a nice bit of tackling there, open field tackling on Price. And he's going to lose a couple of yards, maybe even 3. And it's going to bring up a 4th down for Scott.
Oh, that was absolutely a great play. That one of the few times tonight you saw a guy actually bring it down one-on-one.
Again, with the humidity in the air and the moisture coming down, field's starting to get a little wet. Ball might be getting a little slick, and Coach Shane Griffith elects not to bring the field goal unit on. They're going to go for this 4th down here. So 4th down, and we'll call it 6 from the Lincoln County 13. That's Price rolling to his right. He's going to fire into the end zone, and it's going to be intercepted by the Lincoln County defense on a great bit of great defensive play there. That's Austin Scragg on the interception for Lincoln County. And we've got a flag on the play. It will be a holding against Scott, and that penalty will be declined. And the Panthers will have 1st and 10 at their own 20, Brian. So they roll the dice and get the pick and turn away Scott's offense.
Really one of the few mistakes you've seen the quarterback make tonight. He rolled out and tried to really squeeze the ball into something he really didn't have. It was a great play there, but he was trying to throw it into a window that was very, very, very tight.
Very tight it is, and Josh is over there shaking his head. I think
yeah.
You got a score update for us there, Coach? In the 4th quarter, 21-21.
Battle of Campbell County.
The Battle of the West End.
Yeah, the West End.
The West End, that's right.
A little border war going on there.
Little border war, absolutely. So with 5:48 left here in the 4th quarter, the Panthers turn back Scott and have a 1st and 10 at their own 20. Ball comes loose. Scott's going to scoop, and they're going to take it all the way in. Are they in? Fumble down all around the goal line. Let's see what happens here. Waiting for the officials. And the Panthers recover the fumble of the fumble.
Was recovered by the Panthers.
Fumble-aya.
So fumble-aya. Johnny might have been fumbling. So the Panthers fumble. We also have a flag on the play here, fellas. Let's wait and see what after we get all this sorted out. We had a fumble which was picked up and returned and then fumbled and was recovered by Lincoln County, but let's see what the flag is. Looks like he's talking to the Scott captain. Referees are sorting it out now.
Well, it appears that either way it's still going to be a Lincoln County ball. But they're probably going to decline the penalty because it would have gave us the ball a little farther up, so they declined it to push us back.
Illegal shift.
We have an illegal shift against Lincoln County.
Is declined.
Penalty is declined. It'll be 1st down for Lincoln County at the spot of the fumble recovery. So the Panthers dodged a bullet by not letting the scoop and score happen. And they're backed up way deep at about their own 3.
The illegal shift was against Scott. Fumble was recovered by the Panthers. 2nd down.
That's
true. Right. I do believe it should be a 1st down for Lincoln County.
That should be 1st and 10 Lincoln County.
Yeah. Okay. They caught it, fellas. They're moving the chains now. So
way to be on top of that.
The wizard of the stat sheet.
The eye in the sky misses nothing.
That's right.
It'll be 1st down Panthers.
So 1st and 10 Lincoln County from their own 3. Panthers are backed up. Don't want a botched snap here. We want a positive yardage played. get out of the shadow of their own end zone, and they do as Jake Ashley pushes it forward.
Well, we got a second here. So we're talking about who does the herd have tomorrow?
I'm sorry?
Who does the herd have tomorrow?
That would be Marshall. Will have the season opener at Jones C. Edwards Field, a.k.a. the Joan, against Rhode Island.
I tell you right now, they have a
And who do the Mountaineers open up with in Morgantown tomorrow, Brian?
Mighty Townsend is rolling in.
Towson State. And let me tell you, here's you a fun fact. Towson State and Rhode Island, both from the same conference.
What's really interesting is Townsend, who played in the championship last year against a powerhouse now called North Dakota State. They lost in the championship game, so it should be a really fun game.
North Dakota State, the 3-time defending FCS champions. I'll still call it 1AA. I'm sorry, I'm just old school that way. And I did notice, too, speaking of the Bison from North Dakota State last week, went to Ames, Iowa, and beat Big 12 Iowa State handily.
I tell you right now, they were talking about it. They said they have 5 D1 wins in the last 5 years.
Don't schedule the Bison for the home opener, folks. North Dakota State is very for real.
It's been a really interesting year in college football. As Marshall this year really, and I hate to try to jinx them, but they have a really good chance to run the table this year.
I think they do too. And Ashley drops back to pass on that last play, folks, and it went through 2 receivers' hands and falls incomplete. So it's going to be 4th down and 8 for the Panthers in the shadow of their own end zone. And the punt team will come on with 3:56 left here in the game, folks. Scott leading Lincoln County 33-6.
I know we've heard this a lot of times, been said in a lot of games, but the score is not really indicative of the game.
You're right.
I mean,
especially in tonight's
Lincoln County did play very well, especially in the first half. Moved the ball, had a good, and again, just a couple breakdowns here and there that cost us.
I agree too, Brian. I mean, you take away the 2 big plays from Scott, and it's nothing going in at the half.
Exactly. And the one play was basically we had the quarterback, had him sacked, he got out. There it is.
I've been watching the Price kid from Scott, and that young man has followed his blockers. Had a hand right on his blockers all the time, and then when he sees some daylight, good old-fashioned textbook running it up the middle. Follow your blocks. How many times have you guys heard Coach? Follow your blocks. That kid's been right on his blocker's back and then cuts loose. Just good old-fashioned football. I hate to see it, but
I'll tell you right now, I'm going to give a lot of credit to Scott's coaching staff. We know they've been well coached. We came in, they're well coached, but you can see they're very disciplined in what they do. They block, they tackle, they run, they throw. It seems very simple to do that, but they do it well. Exactly right.
Skyhawks are ranked number 10 this week in the Class AA poll. And again, as we talked to Coach Griffith there in the pregame, Brian, he wanted to get back to black and gold football, and that's very much the case here tonight.
Oh, it really is. They haven't got anything super flashy.
No, they haven't.
You don't need to. If you do things right, good results come out of it.
Exactly right. So 3:56 left here in the 4th quarter. Lincoln County back to punt, facing a 4th and 8. And they're in their end zone. Punter fields it clean and gets a nice punt off. High spiraling end over end kick. It's going to take a bounce at the 35, and it's going to roll to the 45, and it'll come and it'll be blown dead there as Scott will take over 1st and 10. 40 yards on the punt, nothing on the return. Lincoln County's defense back out. And the Skyhawk offense coming back out.
First down.
So while we have a moment here, as the teams change personnel, again, this game is being brought to you by Armstrong and the Lincoln Journal. You can only watch this if you're an Armstrong subscriber. So if you're hearing my voice and seeing these beautiful pictures being brought to you from Hamlin Lions Club Field, then you already know about the digital project, and you probably already have your box. And if you don't, you need to get one.
I'll tell you another thing, if you're watching this and you have friends and family that aren't, by all means, tell them to give us a call.
Okay, so we're back to action here. 1st and 10 for Scott on the Lincoln County side of the 50. And that ball's going to be blown dead before it even gets started. I believe we have a false start against the Skyhawks. preliminary indication by the official is a 5-yard penalty false start. So we'll back them up 5 and try it again. 1st and 15 from midfield.
You know, I was talking earlier this week to Coach Christensen, and I can tell the folks out here he's really trying hard to get a little campaign going to maybe raise some funds to build a new stadium over at the high school. It would
desperately
be
needed, Brian. Very
desperately needed. You know, so anybody watching this, if there's anything we can do to help maybe get behind this, it would be a really nice thing to have, a nice field with a nice play. Good pursuit. Yeah, but to get a facility, the track, and a nice weight room and locker rooms on the campus.
Something that they can honestly call their own, Brian. I agree.
School, your band, football team, soccer team, you know, everybody can make use of that. Yeah, track and field. I mean, it's just, we're AAA school. We need a AAA facility. I mean, we appreciate everything the Lions Club's done, but hey, it's time to get something we can call ours.
Oh, and absolutely. I think the Lions Club members would tell you that they would want nothing more than that right there.
Oh, we've got a fumble on the play here, fellas. I think Scott got back on it. The loss of about 5, so it's 3rd and West Hamlin for Scott. Yeah, down the distance, 2:40 on a rolling clock, Brian, as we wind down here tonight.
We're starting to see both teams substitute in a situation like this, and you know, I know Scott's got some young players, and this is an invaluable time for these kids to get them a little experience to learn in actual game situations. Practice is one thing, but now you're playing against a game, you're hitting somebody else.
Right. Okay, so we've got a 3rd down. And a long ways to go. So there's the inside reverse to number 18. That's Alan Johnson for Scott. And he's going to pick up positive yardage. He's going to have about...
Alan Johnson, the ball carrier.
We'll give him
number 4, Adam Bass.
About 11 yards on the carry for Johnson. And it's going to be 4th down and about 15 for the Skyhawks. This game is winding down. 144, 143 on a rolling clock. Scott still leading 33-6. Another botched snap as they try to get in. I think the Panthers recovered that fumble. And that fumble was recovered by Lincoln County as they finally forced Scott, and I believe that's their first turnover of the night. Lincoln County will take over with 1:20 left in the game.
Fumble was recovered by number 60.
Again, that was a little bit of a rush play. Scott got the backups in the game. But you know what? The kid that snapped the ball, that's a learning experience.
Right.
I know it's a painful learning experience.
It is a painful learning experience, but a learning experience nonetheless. And I got to give a quick shout out to number 60, Austin Pritchard, who recovered that fumble, Brian.
Pritchard, that name sounds familiar.
A little bit.
Would that be any relation to?
He would be relation to me, so nice job, cuz. And we're going to have a timeout here on the field. So, Brian, let's again, while we have a few minutes and we're talking about Armstrong and your digital project, you know, again, if you're an Armstrong customer, you can watch us on Channel 4 or Channel 100. And if you're not, you know, shame on you.
Well, and we've talked about this. You know, we have a lot of people that may have a digital box in one room of their house, and they have 3 other TVs.
Mm-hmm.
On those other TVs, you're going to pick up your basic cable. Well, if you get these DA boxes, it's two are free.
2 are free.
And the third one's $1. But you get to pick up all the channels that you have on your one box. So you may have an extra pack for us that you can't watch on other TVs. You get a DA, you can see those channels now.
Oh, that's fantastic. And it's and again, like you said, you could have the Armstrong personnel come and hook that up, or you can hook it up yourself. And from what you've told me, it's not real difficult to do.
Oh, very simple to hook up.
That's number 24. That's Jacob Dyer for Lincoln County on the carry.
Jacob Dyer, the ball carrier.
And we're winding under to the final minute here in the game, folks. Lincoln County still trailing 33-6. But again, a lot of invaluable experience here for some of these youngsters, Brian.
Oh, exactly. This is your future. These kids are going to be playing the next year and the next year. that. So this little bit of experience does help out.
So second down and 13 for the Panthers. And that snap came back really fast and really quick, but it is fielded by Lincoln County, avoiding the fumble and the turnover. And they're going to say he was down by contact. The ball squirted out, but again, down by contact as we come under half a minute left here at Hamlin Lions Club Field. So probably one more snap here in the contest if Coach Christian likes to run a play. If they can get it off, we're down to 12, 11, and 10 seconds left on the clock.
You know, another thing I'll say tonight real quick, we see the crowd filing out. It was a really, really nice crowd tonight.
It was a great crowd tonight. Great crowd tonight on both sides. And they did just get the playoff, so Lincoln County will have the last positive yardage play. That is the end of the game here from Hamlin Lions Club Field. Your final score, the Scott Skyhawks victorious once again in the Boone-Lincoln Border War by a final score of 33-6. Brian, before we sign off, your thoughts and maybe a couple thoughts from Jamie and the coach before we go off the air here.
Well, you know, right now I can tell you that, you know, I think Jamie was exactly right. We saw a lot of positives from Lincoln County tonight, you know, both offensively and defensively, but the inconsistency we had at the wrong time. That one play here, the one play there, the missed tackles, just, it was our downfall tonight.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we're young. I mean, we've got kids that can't even drive a car legally yet, playing against kids who can already vote. I mean, it's experience. I mean, at that age, those 2-3 years, that's a lot.
Oh, exactly right. You know, and I do think that some of the inexperience and the youth in this team took effect in the second half. You know, and I'm sure Scott has a lot of older players, but those couple of years of getting bigger, faster, and stronger will make that difference in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, but on that same note, those young kids we've got out there showed grit, showed some determination, and that my dad, watching basketball and football, he never was a fan of freshmen, younger players. He said they don't have a mind for the game, but every now and then, he said you'll see a kid who he's got it upstairs, and Derrickson. Ashley, who was the number 20, Beckelheimer, he was just awesome tonight. I mean, he was bouncing off tacklers, stiff arming, doing things that you would expect out of a junior and senior as a freshman. This kid was in the 8th grade this time last year.
Well, I do think that I think the coaching staff will probably, you know, tomorrow watch this film and start breaking it down. And again, they're going to see the positives, and there's things you can work on. You know, the mistakes tonight that we made are fixable, correctable errors.
Sure.
So, you know, I'm sure the coaching staff will look at that. They'll point this out to the players that this is a learning experience. You know, as a team, I think the team will get better as this year goes along.
Oh, yeah.
And 33-6, I know it sounds like a blowout of a game, but it really was not. It was a very competitive game.
Well, Coach has got something to talk about tonight. We scored. We got on the board. We didn't give up, but yeah, like I said, a lot to build on, and, hey, we can only go up from here.
That's right.
Well, I want to get some thoughts from the coach here. Josh, you know, with next week's game right back here at Hamlin Lions Club Field against the Logan Wildcats, what do you think from Logan, and can Lincoln County right the ship and be competitive again?
Well, I mean, you don't have a choice. There's some things I think they'll take a look at, and, you know, we'll try to fix. They'll watch a film on Logan and see what they got. But, you know, I think we probably found a couple of things tonight. You know, we throw the ball around a little bit. You know, we had some success on that, scored a touchdown, had some completions. But, you know, it's key to do that on early downs, you know, like we talked, on non-throwing downs, you know, when they're loading everybody up in the box. On defense, you know, you just got to make some of those tackles there. Like you said, the kids are young and opportunities are there. Coaches can put you in the right spot, but you got to just break down and make good tackles.
Right. Well, with that being said, folks, we will hopefully be bringing you the broadcast next week. That right here at Hamlin Lions Club Field. That'll be Lincoln County against Logan. Right here at Hamlin Lions Club Field. For Brian Vance, Josh Shemp, and the wizard of the stat sheet, Jamie Jones, I'm Ryan Pritchard. We'll be signing off from the Panther Sports Network, brought to you this evening by Armstrong Cable and the Lincoln Journal. We'll see you all next time on the Panther Sports Network.